The following podcast has been brought to you by Audible.com. Sign up now using the URL audibletrial.com/TTV to get a free audiobook of your choosing. We recommend Brick by Brick, How LEGO Rewrote the Rules of Innovation and Conquered the Global Toy Industry. You may recognize this as one of the sources we use in our show, Bionicle Autopsy. Remember, that's audibletrial.com/TTV. Enjoy the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
sync. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to TTV 142.
Oh my god.
You mock me.
So much news, guys.
What an opening, guys.
You ruined my opening.
So yeah, how's everybody doing for this TTV 142 spectacular?
I'm doing
tired.
great, so I can make it to an episode this time.
I got pasta yesterday.
Oh no. Don't do this, Takuma and X and just pasta.
What?
Okay, LJ.
So for any that may not have heard,
Okay,
this
listen,
is TTV
everybody.
episode
That was
142.
LJ's contribution to this episode, right?
Yeah.
Here, that awful joke.
Okay, what do
Ladies
you
and
want
gentlemen,
from me,
that
Var?
was LJ.
For the rest of the episode, he's gonna be
for you to
silent.
make decent jokes.
Oh.
I'm
Okay,
kind of
want to hear
assuming
a
that
joke?
was evident.
Kahi's face. Boom. Psh. It's pretty funny.
An ostrich would find that funny.
Why an ostrich?
Of all
Funny
things,
because
well,
ostriches hide their faces in the sand.
There we go. Okay.
Like LJ.
Ah.
No, just when LJ walks by.
so how's everybody's week been?
Well,
So,
I'm being hurt
So.
a lot.
you gotta
It's
get better
finals
than that. You have to bring
Yeah.
up something interesting. Like, for example, so guys, have you checked out the recent TTV talks?
But listen, my
Yes,
my
I
week
did.
my week
I have
hasn't
not.
been interesting. But yeah,
And now I
TTV
wish
I've had finals, man. That's the road to finals.
I got my PVR working. So.
HD PVR?
Yeah.
You
I
got,
remember I had that, then one time Meso forced me to get on Xbox and record something, and then it exploded.
I did not force
Really?
you.
What?
Hopefully mine
Yo,
won't explode.
You absolutely forced me. I was like, yeah, I don't really want to do this. And you just kept pushing until I was like, I caved in
didn't
and finally did
force
it.
you.
And
I was
you
like,
caused
come on,
my
Var,
HD
it'll
PVR
be
to explode.
fun.
Don't interrupt me while I'm freaking talking.
You're spewing lies and slander.
Yeah, that's Meso's forte, don't you know?
Meso and Var at court with Judge Judy. He's spreading
that's what I know to
slander
hear.
about me.
I'm spraying slander.
I know he's the baby
So,
daddy. I
who's
just know
here
it.
today? We're quite the cast.
So, yeah, I'm messing up.
I'm Barteran.
I'm LJ.
I'm Kahi.
I'm Viper.
I'm Takuma.
And I'm EXX Trooper. How you doing, everyone?
And once again,
how's-
this is TTV.
Wow, that was...
Stop it
Hey,
with the
don't
whole
suck
how
up.
you doing? How many times are you gonna say that in
142.
5 minutes?
Let me say
I gotta
it.
say, X,
142.
that was a surprisingly soft and quiet way to say your name, X. Usually you're all like, I'm Dexter.
But like the last times has been sort of like.
Oh, I feel good.
Oh my goodness.
Dude,
What is
it's
going
like
on
hearing,
this episode?
hearing myself.
Like before the episode, everyone was super edgy and cynical.
Like
But
fighting.
now,
Edgy and cynical.
Cynical.
I've been, like,
Not sure
quiet.
cynical's the
I'm
right
talking
word to
about-
use.
I'm just a little tired. That's on my thing.
Am I
It's been a
really
rough- It's
loud?
been a rough week.
I feel like my microphone is really sensitive, or I'm just really, really loud.
I think you're just rowdy.
Maybe it's
What's
a mix of
rowdy?
both.
You're a rowdy rough boy.
You are kind of
Mark
rowdy.
Ruffalo?
Oh.
Hey, speaking of Mark Ruffalo, that Age of Ultron, am I right?
What?
Am I
Shut
right?
up.
Wait,
I
am I
haven't
right?
seen it.
Am I
Don't
right?
talk
You
about it.
haven't
I haven't
seen
seen
it?
it either, punk.
Var, you're American.
I watched it before all of you suckers.
I watched it on the
Oh, wow.
premiere,
Wow,
which
Viper's
is
starting to sound a little bit
Norway,
like
which was in 1 hour
me?
before England, so
But then again, it was pretty painful because I had to keep the spoilers to myself.
Kai, do you remember that great
sucker.
scene at the end where Spider-Man swung down? And,
Oh my god.
Shot everybody
my
with web.
goodness me.
Right, and then Captain America used the time gem to go fight a younger, skinny Captain America.
And then Spider-Man, like, webbed up Ultron.
I'll just tell one thing, there's nothing after the credits.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we should probably make that known. There's only there's one mid-credit scene.
Joss
and then
Whedon
there's
was
nothing
not
at the
lying.
end. Don't stay till the end.
There's so many
Does anyone
people
actually
that stay
care?
till the end.
So
and then
don't
I
waste
just,
your time.
A lot of
by
people
sitting
stayed at
the
that theater.
end and thinking there's a
my showing.
post-credit scene because there's
Right.
not.
no one
The
listened to
groans
me.
are all around.
Okay, so wait a minute. So there isn't a post-credit scene, but like, is there a mid-credit?
There's a
scene?
Yeah, we
mid-credit
just
scene,
said
that's what I
there's a
said, yeah.
mid-credit scene.
It's
Yeah,
like,
we
the
have
best
VAR.
analogy I can think of is Captain America Winter Soldier. Spoiler alert for that movie. There was the one where there was, like, Strucker experimenting on the twins, and then there was the one with Bucky.
Yeah, the
one
creepy
with Bucky
serial killer
isn't,
Bucky
isn't
look.
there.
That just...
Yeah, there's not one at the dead end, but there is one in the same place as Strucker.
No,
I thought
in
Bucky
every,
was good guy,
in every
dog.
Avengers movie, there's a mid-credits one
In
now. ever
every
since
Avengers
the
movie,
Avengers.
like the one we already got.
Yeah, all one other
All
movie.
2 Avengers.
No, there's one for, that's basically all of them, right? There's 2 in Thor.
Yeah, that's... Never mind. It's not
So you
worth
mean a
it.
Marvel movie, not an Avengers movie?
I never saw
Okay,
Thor
fair
1 or
enough.
2.
Alright, yeah, sure, Marvel movie. I'm talking about the entire Avengers, because they're all Avengers, and they're all gonna be in
man,
Avengers
They
Infinity
weren't
War.
always. Honestly, the only one I could actually legitimately say is an Avengers movie without having to be the Avengers is the Captain America movies.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, the first Avenger.
Civil War.
Civil War hype.
Civil War, man. I'm
I am
actually
so
really excited
stoked
for
for
that.
I can see
I don't know
that.
why, but I'm even stoked for Black Panther.
I can see tears.
I'm
super
super
stoked
stoked for Black Panther.
Stoked, not super stoked.
I just
super
like Iron Man, man.
Well, you better get used to no Iron Man, because there'll never be
I've never
an
heard of Iron Man, man.
4.
What,
Iron
like,
Man,
is he
man.
retiring or something? Because I think he's going to be in Civil War, right?
He's
gonna
retired
be
from
in Civil War.
standalone movies, I think.
Why?
Well, he hasn't.
Well,
He's not
Not
retired from
retiring,
them. He's
but he's
just
opting
not doing
to do
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Does he not like being your old man?
I doubt it, because
I
he's
think
still going to be in
I
there.
think he just doesn't like earning millions of dollars.
He's just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm swimming in
his
too
thing.
much money.
He's
I
like,
can't
oh,
take
I've
it."
got too much money. You know, for his
Maybe
birthday
he's
party.
just not into doing those like single indie films.
Oh my
That's it. It's
No.
exactly like he said. That's the kind of mood that's going on around here. It's an indie mood.
An indie mood?
Also, you
Yeah.
don't. You know, you have no idea what that you're talking about.
That's
You-
what
you
he
have
said.
no idea what
That's
that
he said.
means.
I heard the thing when you posted
Everyone,
it.
okay,
Connie.
everyone. LJ, please, for the audience here, describe to me what an indie mood is.
Yeah, please. Educate me.
For those who don't understand.
Let's get some back
Come on,
into
LJ,
this.
stop laughing. Let's go. Come on.
All right. So an indie mood is when one is very presumptuous and arrogant and is sees themselves a cut
You mean
above the
pretentious.
rest.
You mean pretentious?
Oh,
not
this has
presumptuous.
nothing to do with Native Americans at all.
Oh, that was racist.
How did you get that? Anything to do?
Have you not heard of indie music?
He's gone full.
Great start. 12 out of 10.
It's a Bionicle, am I right?
GG.
Let's not
Well,
kid
I have
ourselves.
one quick thing to say.
Oh yeah, that was the best part of the Avengers movie when Thor stepped on the Bionicles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Did he?
No,
Did he
he
really?
was on Bionicles.
No. No.
Otherwise, these guys would have been flipping pancakes.
Yeah.
I would have stood up
Yeah,
and
but
applauded in that
LJ,
theater.
explain the thing. Come on.
I
am
explained the
Tom
thing, and then you start
Bastard.
talking about Native Americans.
Oh, was that it? That was very underwhelming.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness! So real
That's
quickly,
not what indie means. Have you never played an indie video game?
Or
Yeah,
I
actually,
an
I
indie
do
movie?
realize
Did,
now.
did you think that was developed by Native Americans?
No, I do really realize now that you referred to not Indian but indie.
Does that
So-
mean all the slot machines in casinos in America are technically indie games?
we are going toward a bridge we cannot uncross.
Wow.
We cannot
real-
uncross.
Real quickly,
I'm not
did they
aware
punch?
of a lot of one-way bridges.
That's like, wouldn't it better, like, analogy would be like to go in, like, a hole, but you can't get up? again?
Yeah,
You're digging-
why would
you're
there be a
digging
bridge
yourself
Why
that
would
you
there
can't
be, like,
cross?
bridges are made to
Never
go
once
back
been
and
across a
forth?
bridge
If
that
you
can't be
cross
crossed.
the
I
bridge
guess it's
and
it might be a
it
drawbridge.
burns, there's like
Sure,
fire
unprivate
on
maybe.
the
The
bridge.
word, the type of thing you're looking for is you're burning bridges. Is probably
No,
the
no,
There
best
we
way.
go.
I'm not actually sure.
But
about
that's
that.
not Ed at all.
But that's to do usually. That's to do with usually like
I have
ruining
crust.
relationships with people and then not planning
Like
to
Andrew
fix
Garfield, the chef of Sony. Am I right,
cross.
guys?
Andrew
Am I right? Am I right?
I'm sorry. Maybe it would have been better if like he insulted the butcher, right, Kahi?
The butcher.
The butcher. The butcher.
I'm saying, hey, listen. Andrew Garfield has had like a crappy week.
I would say he's had more of a crappy week. I'd say a crappy year.
The cat?
Also.
What? The cat? What are you talking about?
Did Garfield have like a bad week? But he's a fictional
No,
character.
not Garfield the cat. Oh God.
Okay,
Trooper,
come
do
on.
you even life?
honestly,
Do you even everything? Like occasionally I do some things, but other times I do not do a lot of things. But I do.
Did
like,
you guys know that a cat built Facebook?
did it?
No.
He's
I
also
did
secretly
not.
Spider-Man.
wow, that's
Oh, Andrew
Fantastic.
Garfield! Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Facebook, the guy.
What's been
Spider-Man.
happening with them? There's like rumors that he snubbed
guy.
Sony's chief and got everybody mad at him. There's rumors that he cheated on Emma Stone. He lost his job with
I mean,
at
and
Spider-Man.
there's no rumor that he lost his job with Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
cheat
rumor.
on with a what?
Yeah, who cheats on Emma Stone?
I was just saying the same thing. Who the frick would cheat on Emma Stone? Like, she's Emma
If
frickin'
she
Stone.
arrived at my door and asked to go out with me, I would, even though I'm not into that, I'd still say yes.
Shit.
Yeah, you might need to calm down there. Our fans like a bit too excited.
happening right now.
No, I...
Get on the
Well,
job.
I mean, like, obviously enough, I agree with Viper. But
Well,
even
so-
more so, because, hey, Emma Stone, am I right?
No,
Real
but then,
quickly.
like
I don't
in,
know
May-
her
may-
as a
hey,
person, so I
in
can't
your
make that kind of
situation,
call.
Kahi, though, it'd be like Emmett Stone because it's like the same gender
Oh, it's
thing.
like a dude. Yeah, okay.
Like,
But like, dude, if Andrew Garfield was
Emmett
like, "Hey, you want to
Stone.
hang out?" I'd be like, "Yeah, sure. We'll chill, man. We'll go and like grab some non-alcoholic beverages because I'm
He starts a
underage."
bromance with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, I'll have a bromance
Like
with
best
Andrew
friends for
Garfield.
life.
That's my thing.
but sorry, I believe Takuma was saying something. Yeah. What'd you say, Takuma?
Heck if I remember anymore. I don't even know if I want to say anything.
I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to interrupt, but I think I might have done that. I'm sorry.
Aw, you're gonna make him cry, Takuma.
I have to say.
Cry. Cry.
X.
I hope he's bawling by the time we're through.
Oh.
I want
I'm
him
sure that's
drowning
not hard,
in a pool of
Takuma.
his own tears.
Okay,
Whilst you're
Takuma,
going,
you
I'm
better.
sure that's not hard.
Takuma, you
But
really need to
first-
stop doing this. You're
But
gonna
first,
pull like an
shut up
LJ.
and quit interrupting me, LJ. My gosh, at least
The only
Trooper
thing
has
I'm drowning
manners.
in here is oil and money.
Yeah, Takuma's taking control, guys.
Trooper may be scum, but at least he's not slime like you.
Okay.
Oh!
Listen, okay, that's it. The gloves are coming off, mate. Listen,
So-
you're gonna sit here. You're
okay.
sitting here yelling
I've
at
got a great-
X like
I've got
some
a
sort
great
of poor
story.
crying puppy. I know what X is like off the podcast, but I know on the podcast he's sensitive. He has emotions. He's so
I don't have emotions.
LJ, if you
he's
do
so
not shut
innocent,
up
and here
quit
you are
interrupting
being
me,
the. You're the bully.
punch you
You're the
in the
new
face so hard that
cafeteria
every
bully,
time you
and you're going
sneeze,
over
you're
there
chewing
and you're like kicking Takuma.
Dude, from Bionicle.
Bully.
Beast, the bully, bully.
Oh my goodness.
No, so Trooper,
What
this a great
is this
story I have to tell you.
episode?
I have a great story for Trooper Hill because he's going to love this. So this
Alright.
happened about a month ago, and
Alright.
two of my sisters are sitting by the dining room table, and they're
Good
looking
so
at the
far.
sliding door at the backyard. And one of my sisters is like, "Oh, spring is coming," and stuff. It's like, "Look, there's a cardinal outside."
Uh-huh.
And my other sister looks out and she's like, "No, that's a robin." Like, that's a cardinal. No, it's a robin. You can tell by the way it's red. It's not red there. I look out and I says, "That's a blue jay."
I was at the edge of my seat through that entire ride.
But you see, the thing is that I knew what was happening because there was a blue jay, a cardinal, and a robin outside, and everyone was looking at a different bird and arguing at which bird was outside.
Wow, just
like the
I
dress.
thought your siblings. I thought your sisters were colorblind, and that was and that's how we knew she was colorblind. That was just to go for surgery.
I saw the Blue Jay first, but I also saw the Cardinal and the Robin. But just to mess with them, I decided to say Blue Jay. But they're arguing over whether it was a Cardinal or a Robin.
So, like the
I
dress.
love birds, man.
No,
Color is the dress.
Takuma, was that the story
Remember
you've been
that
waiting to
wasted
tell for a
time?
month?
Yep.
And yes,
no,
I
that
did.
is not the story.
No,
I wanted
that's
to
not the
tell for a
story.
month.
Oh.
It was a bird story, so I wanted to tell Trooper.
I like
only
the
he
bird.
can appreciate it.
That was a nice bird story. I really appreciate Takuma's bird story. That was nice.
Yeah.
X, speaking of birds, what the heck is your avatar?
I love that avatar. It's so great.
I have a whole archive of like 150
Yeah,
pictures.
he had another one that like had
with
a T.
It's just birds with arms, and I'm also subscribed to a subreddit called Birds with
We're
Arms.
gonna have to put your avatar on the screen, X.
I will.
Yeah.
'Cause, like,
No,
the
we're
people are
not. You see,
Yeah, what's
what
funny?
Messo's going to do? What Messo's going to do is he's going to add pictures to the episode without knowing where they are, like TTV Talks.
Nah. That's not what I
Yeah,
did
he's just
today.
gonna add random pictures. We're gonna be talking about like Mac Daddy Var, but instead it's a screenshot of bio crap.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to put that
It's
picture
usually
in there. Oh.
that the blue Starcraft one, and then there's also a Garrus one, and then there's also the one with T that are my favorites. But currently, it's
You
the
know
blue.
what's really sad, X? Is you've been here for like a 3/4 of a year right now. I don't know exactly. I just now clued into what your avatar was.
Oh
It's a
my
bird.
gosh, Messo.
I didn't know this
Wow.
entire time.
Are you serious?
Did you not know that it was a bird?
I don't know. It thought it was a dude with a helmet, a blue helmet.
Are you?
Are you an idiot?
Yep, that giant blue thing
no.
with like the tiny eyes.
Oh no!
Yes.
Messo,
A furry
No.
soldier.
you are not.
Messo wouldn't know what a bird is. He's never gone outside before.
Messo, you're like the opposite of Sherlock Holmes. Like just
Hey,
not
so
observant.
in case anybody hasn't clued in by now, we have no Bionicle news.
Yeah.
So
we
in
have
case you're waiting for
necessarily
Bionicle
true.
news, I'm sorry.
There's-
This is going to be
there's
our
some
episode.
stuff, but
There's
there's
some
not
stuff.
really.
Listen,
It's not really
okay.
news. We're just having fun.
Right. I mean, okay, like, there's not gonna really be any news worth talking about until
Summer.
the sets come out.
Yeah.
Well, the Jurassic Park sets are out. And
No.
like,
No, we
Toys
don't
R
like
Us
Jurassic
now.
Park.
No.
Ah!
No, I just wanted to mention it.
Yeah, no, come
I
on.
just want to mention that you're an idiot.
Jurassic Park's
Oh.
cool.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
Also, it's not Jurassic Park. It's Jurassic
Whoa.
World.
VAR. I mean, Senpai noticed me, but wow, dude.
Not even like
I feel
you
like
wanted
X
him
is just
to
getting
notice
bullied
you.
this episode.
Yeah, like I'm the punching bag for
Let's
being.
be honest, he's kind of had it coming for a while.
Aww.
Yeah,
Pretty
X,
much.
You had it coming.
The
You know what,
only-
X? I'm really glad this is happening to you this episode. Gets the heat
Shut
off
up,
of me.
LJ.
And
Well,
there goes again.
everyone.
You literally said that hoping to get the heat back on you, didn't you? That's the whole purpose of
Unless
saying
you're
it.
a
Why else
huge
did you
For
say
the
that?
rest of
idiot.
the episode, we just completely ignore anything LJ has to say.
But
I
wait,
agree.
no, I have valid information.
Maybe even
I
just
have
like
relevant
cut him out
discussion.
in post.
Valid
It's like
information,
that,
not valuable information. You just have valid, like the information is
We
confirmed
don't
by
deal
somebody.
with valid information.
Wait,
We
wait,
only
wait,
deal
wait,
with
Kahi.
Yeah, this is
invalid
who do you think
information.
we are?
Hold
This
on,
is TTV.
hold on, wait,
We don't
Kahi,
deal with valid
are you
information.
Are you saying I have had at some points valuable information? Do you really believe that's
No,
something I contain?
I'm saying that you use your words incorrectly, and that was stupid of you to say that.
I think
That's what I'm saying.
I just want to point out the fact that despite all this, ever since we mentioned X's avatar, you guys have just been spamming pictures of birds with arms in the chat.
Yeah, I even linked to the
It's your
subreddit
problem.
Birds with Arms. It's great.
Actually,
I'm still
I know,
questioning how I never noticed that before because I see it clearly now.
It's yeah, Meso. It's
I'm
a
questioning how you
pheasant
didn't see it
soldier
earlier. It's
that
so clear.
suspiciously looks like a bird.
I thought it was a helmet with like the visor, like
it
a
has
Halo
feathers.
visor.
A helmet that covers his
It
whole
has
body.
a beak,
bird.
Meso. It has a freaking beak. How
thought the
could you
beak was,
not
like,
know it
part
was
of
a
the visor.
bird?
Bro, do you even beak?
No, I don't.
Apparently so.
Bro, do you even
Nessa, did
see?
you think the helmet just covered the entire body?
Here's a
Yeah.
bird tearing it up.
I thought he was
Right
like
here.
on fire or something.
What?
Thought it was like
had a bird
Azure
with
Oh my goodness
beer?
me.
or
Okay.
Azure armor.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Obviously, Meso is legally blind and can no longer.
Why? This is coming from the guy that thought like a picture of a gravity hammer in Halo was like a giant vehicle for like 3 years.
What?
So, yeah, it was a perspective thing. He was like hitting the ground with a gravity hammer, and I was like, "What vehicle is that?"
I thought you were talking about me for a second. It sounds like you're trying to insult me.
Yeah, no,
I was like,
no,
oh, this is coming from the guy.
This is coming from the guy.
Yeah.
which
Yeah, I'm like, you
said in
shouldn't be
response
surprised.
to-
This is coming from me, the guy that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nah. See, I
was like,
clued in on that because I was there when he was like, I never noticed there was a gravity hammer before.
no, well, see, that's a more acceptable thing to make because the gravity hammer, if you have like a close up of it, sure, you could be like, all right, maybe it looks from a ship. Halo
Yeah,
has weird
that and
ships.
it's very weird because like the Spartan's at a point where he could be sitting on a vehicle and there are flames. It's very obscured. But this is
Right,
a
right.
bird.
This
with
is a
arms.
bird of arms.
This is
Meso.
the picture in question, but yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I didn't know. My
Let me see.
mistake.
I'm looking at this.
It does look kind of like a
Yeah, okay.
speeder
Yeah, it
vehicle
does.
thing in
Yeah.
here. Yeah,
No, like, I
you're
don't
not-
blame you for that.
You're not crazy. You're just.
But it's like, I didn't even know there was a Spartan there. I thought the Spartan was like part of the vehicle.
And credibility.
And there you
Yeah.
go.
He's gone.
Okay.
That
Take
was
it back.
the thing.
You're back to being an idiot.
Take it back. Take it back. Here you go.
You just had to say, you had to dig your own grave. You could have just let us agree with you.
I can't take it back.
Now you
Oh,
can't.
what, birds?
So I was searching the web for Rumble Pit pictures, and I see a dude that looks suspiciously like your character, Var.
My character.
Your character. I know it's not, but it looks kind of like yours.
Oh, wow. That looks just like my character. What are you talking about?
You didn't have blue flames.
Yeah, I know.
I clicked Mars' picture by accident, and I was like, like his character. And it's this bird of like arms
That's
and
what I
he's
did
flexing.
too.
And I was like, what? I don't get it. What is
I
what
love
is
the.
going on?
I love the GIF one where he's like fist pumping in the air.
I believe.
that. Whoop, whoop.
I think this is like a physical representation of Bird Friday.
I was like, yeah, there we go.
Bird Saturday. So close.
Messer,
but
you're
so
gonna
far.
have a ball putting these pictures. You should save all these pictures right now. You know, we'll have to put them in
Yeah.
the episode.
That's such an uncreative title. So.
I
No, it's
know.
not. It's funny.
No, it's very direct and to the point and shows what the episode is about. With
Birds with arms.
Don't
Yeah.
break chronology.
By the way, we are talking. Messer just suggested. I don't know why you typed it instead of saying TTV episode 142, Birds of
Because
Arms.
you told
Just
me
now-
a while ago not to do it in episode.
it should be like meaning of life because 42 or something. I don't know.
No, we're
No,
talking
if
about
we
it
were gonna
now.
do that, we would have done
We're
it for
talking
episode
about it,
42.
and the audience doesn't have context. They're not watching our
Kai.
chat, so we need to mention it.
Hey, hey, guys. It's a bird with arms. Get it? Get it? I'm so funny!
Wombo.
Oh, that no scope.
No scopes in Smash Bros.
Yes, there is. Unless you're a scrub.
I was making a reference to the screaming. I was just like, 360.
Are you recording?
No
Are you
scope.
recording?
You don't have to
recording?
explain your jokes, Piper.
Doritos.
Okay,
Doritos.
there he
Doritos.
That sounds like
sorry.
Kahi saying it, like
Adopting it
Doritos.
on Sean Doritos, please.
I'm sorry to all of you fans for this episode.
What are you talking about? This is great.
This is amazing. Like, there's birds and they
Oh,
have
that's scary.
arms.
That's
Dude.
scary, that one.
Oh man. With that
Can you
being
guys-
said,
Can you guys hear the vacuum cleaner?
So, alright.
no.
You mean the Hoover?
I'm sure someone would.
Remember
Yeah,
when-
the Hoover.
No. No, vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, alright, X, now we're talking. You're speaking my language.
Okay, Hoover.
Because it sucks? Yeah.
Basically, yeah, you guys could expect more episodes like this until we get new Bionicle news.
Oh,
my
gosh,
goodness.
now you're
And
just
then
giving them a
watch
reason
as
to
we have so many
unsubscribe.
unsubscribers.
Spreading
Yeah.
Because of that.
misinformation.
TTV,
Yeah, we do have,
spreading
like, one bit.
misinformation and making you lose brain cells. Brain cells.
Brune cells.
Brain cells. Brain
Yeah,
have
like
one
cells.
brain
one
cells.
small bit of news. Should we talk
Hey, so
about it or
remember-
wait a little bit?
Yeah, I was gonna say, hey, remember last week when we were talking about, like, Bionicle?
Oh, wasn't
And,
what I was going to do, but fine, okay.
marketing.
Let's admit how I was wrong. Blah, blah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
That's a
I just wanted to get it
Var
across.
and Kahi brought up very valid points, and
Off air.
they're right.
Yeah.
Right. Actually,
It
can
was the
record that.
discussion about the
Discussion.
marketing strategy behind the Battle for the Gold Mask contest and whether it was designed to promote CCBS or not. And
Yeah, for whatever reason, you guys decided to argue that point.
You make it sound like
When
it's a drug.
I could have sworn, like, not even like 10 episodes ago when we were talking about it, we all agreed that it was to promote CCBS.
I thought that was a universal thing too.
Yeah, I thought that was a thing that we agreed
I
on.
don't
Yeah,
think they did
that's what I
enough
was
to
like.
actively promote CCBS. But I was thinking of promote in the sense of directly promoting and or incentivizing the use of it, not promotion like you guys
Like-
were saying, where just the very nature of Bionicle using CCBS means they're promoting CCBS.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
it was
yes. Meso and I figured it's kind of like those Mountain Dew commercials for Halo 4. Like, you know, the animations of the Spartans in, like, the canyon doing, like, push-ups and squats with Mountain Dew in their arm.
That's actually not what I was thinking it was like at all.
That's a direct
You guys didn't agree on
advertisement.
your
That's a
consensus.
direct endorsement, Meso.
Fair enough, I guess, yeah.
Well, you guys also were like, well, you know, you said during the episode and also like during this argument too that we had off air that like you felt that the contest was at first a failure, or you know because of how
yeah,
much.
I was
the
looking at
CCBS
the submissions, how many of them actually use CCBS or not.
Right.
That was
Which
the
doesn't
angle I
matter.
was approaching
Doesn't matter.
it at.
though.
Yeah,
but fortunately,
so, like,
because all right,
it doesn't matter how many submissions use CCBS or not. It's the fact that the ones that won, the ones that Lego picked out, were using CCBS. The one
Yep.
that actually won the entire competition and got the golden mask was using CCBS. So it's obviously
It's a moot
clear
point.
that, judging from the one that Lego picked out, what they were looking for.
Yep.
and I was also saying I wanted to remark how much of a genius marketing strategy the Battle for the Gold Mask were. It was genius on
Right.
so many levels. One, it got the active fan base, you know, the people that are actually concerned about Bionicle coming back and want Bionicle coming back. It got all of them involved. Two, it was a contest that Lego didn't have to do anything for. They didn't have to spend their budget on anything. The only thing they had to give up was a gold mask they already made for promotion. They didn't have to run the contest. All the sites ran the
All the
contest
sites did
for
it.
them.
Yep.
Literally, they emailed 7 pictures to a guy, and the guy picked it out. And that's the extent of what Lego had to do. Lego didn't have to pay for like a marketing thing. They didn't have to do anything. And all the fans were on board with it, and all the fan sites were on board with it, and they were all promoting in all the social media, which we already
combined
have.
all the social sites together into like a one unanimous like contest between
And-
these things.
And not only that, but not only did they get all these people to run this contest for free, but they were completely psyched that Lego was a part of it. Like, that was a great thing. Like, they felt privileged to do it because Lego is now interacting with them.
Yeah.
So, it made everybody happy in all counts. You didn't have to spend any money, and they got the entire fan base involved.
Yeah,
and they
think about
also
it-
brought up that CCBS was a viable system to markets that maybe were on the fence about the
Exactly,
system.
and that's where I think this competition is promoting the CCBS thing, and that's kind of where we kind of didn't see eye to eye as far as that. But it just seems like if you're looking at it from the perspective of Lego, like, how do we show that old Bionicle fans? How do we show to old Bionicle fans that CCBS is useful towards mocking? That you can still make great creations with it.
Right.
Well, have a contest, and the winners that are these giant, awesome contraptions using CCBS. Just make that.
Right.
It's like they basically hired the community to build like advertisements for them
Right.
for free.
Exactly. And they did the same thing with, who's that designer guy? You saw those pictures up on Lego's page, right? When he used to, like,
Yeah.
CCBS. And that kind of thing is really cool, too.
By Brick
But-
Thing, I mean he works
Yeah.
for Lego, I think, but
Yeah.
but
no,
like
he
that-
does. Like, he interns.
Right.
Yeah.
That kind of marketing, the way that was entirely handled, that was ingenious.
the fact that it wasn't clear that it was marketing
Right.
only shows how genius it is
And
as
the
far
fact,
as marketing goes.
the fact it cost them nothing, too. It did so much for them, and it cost them nothing. It cost them a couple emails, basically.
You're looking at this stuff thinking, oh, these are cool mocks. You see like mocks of using CCBS placed on like their Facebook page, and like, wow, these are really cool mocks. You're not really thinking that, oh, Lego's trying to advertise CCBS. No, you're just thinking that these are cool mocks.
Right.
You know,
That's the genius behind it.
What if it was completely unintentional by Lego, and they just wanted to run a contest?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
it
matter.
was
It-
whatever.
yeah, whatever.
They succeeded. They hit
Right.
the lottery.
I'm sure, like I said the last episode, there are people, If we can figure this out just by thinking about it, there are people who this is their job and they went to college for it and they got the degree and they work at probably it's either number 1 or number 2 biggest toy company in the world.
But
So
Lego's
they
number
probably
one.
know what they're doing more than like, you know, a couple college students who have a YouTube channel would think of. I'm pretty sure they considered all of this beforehand. I'm pretty sure they have an entire marketing division, so I'm pretty sure this has come up. We're not like...
I wish they would have applied the same genius strategy to the mask hunt.
Yeah.
Right. Well, see, that was what we were trying to say, or at least what Kai was trying to
right.
say the last episode, but you guys decided to fight against the Battle for the Golden Mask.
Yeah.
That, in
agree about the
comparison,
hunt.
the mask hunt in Facebook really isn't that great of a competition. Or I
Right.
guess, it's not just using Facebook, but the mask hunt itself is just not that great of a competition, because it doesn't really promote anything. It's just you go out, snap a picture, and you get something out of it.
Yep.
Right.
I mean,
think-
you really don't even need to be a fan of Bionicle or support Bionicle in any way. You just see this, be like, I want that, so I could sell it to someone else and make a bunch of cash. And all you'd have to
That
go out
is,
is just take a picture of a trash can,
that is a
and then you
good
just
point.
got like
that's
$100
the main
handed
thing
to
too.
you.
Like you just take a picture of like something that kind of looks like your face. And I don't. Meso, you brought up the point last week that they're like, hey, it's to get bigger reach. So some kids don't have the money to buy all these parts and build something for a mock or whatnot.
Yep.
And I don't disagree with that. I think that Lego might try to capitalize on that market and make kids feel like they're more involved. But they shouldn't give up 6 gold masks for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I
and
think having
absolutely-
6 is really.
And I do agree with that point too, though. Like I understand the merits behind making a competition that is open for everyone,
Right.
and not something that older people have an advantage over.
Right.
Like we want something to be really fair for kids who are just getting into the line so that they can win something. I
Right.
understand that. It's just, yeah, what Kai said. It's just they're putting a lot into that, which might be a bit too much.
They could do. I remember Lego Magazine used to do these other contests that weren't just based around mocks, artwork, stories, that kind of thing. Really, I feel like we were talking about last time that you're like, oh, Lego doesn't really have. I don't know if Lego has the budget to do more contests. They actually do the same thing they did with Battle of the Gold Mask. If they're like, hey, we're gonna do a site wide contest, and you guys figure it out, and then you send us the submissions at the end, the winning submissions, and we just look at it. And that's like, what, 6 stories, basically?
Well, I will
from
agree
all
that
the big sites?
the next thing they need to do is a Lego magazine contest.
Yes,
Because
they did a
the-
lot of
yeah,
those in
The
2001.
online
Oh, I remember those.
forum-based
Yeah.
contests are only going to get them so far.
Right,
And now this one's
they're
on
only going to get them
social
with
media,
current
and now
fans.
they need one in the Lego magazine, which unfortunately we now know will probably, if they go that route, they only have one more mask to give away.
That's a
Mask of creation, the big deal.
I mean,
The
that's
big
why I wish
kahuna.
they had saved. I wish they had saved all these other masks. They could do 6 contests,
Well, it's
one
like
every 2 months.
I assume
the rest
they
of the
wanted
year.
to do the Toa masks as part of a pseudo set. Really,
No, I
Same
don't get the
concept.
point in that. What's the point?
I don't know.
Why?
But that's what they
why
were going
don't-
for.
Why not extend it for?
Speaking of the contest, this is something that's been minorly controversial amongst the fan base. What are your guys' thoughts on them allegedly going back and modifying their terms and conditions for the contest?
To what?
A bit
don't care.
irresponsible. There's a bit inconsistency in an
Wait, what?
ongoing contest.
What's going on?
Listen,
Ba-
okay, so
Someone
here-
explain
here's the
backstory
deal. Here's the
first
deal.
for the audience and me, I guess.
Well, actually, maybe you should explain
Yeah.
it, Elder.
I got it.
Okay.
So originally the contest stated that each entry, you could enter multiple entries, but only one could win. You could only win one prize with one entry. Well, they went back and they modified it, allegedly at a later time, to say you can win multiple prizes with multiple entries. And that is ruffling some fur with a lot of community members in regards to Lego not being fair or allegedly
Oh.
breaking the law,
You know
so
what
on
that
and so
means?
forth.
No, they're not breaking the law. They can change. It's their own.
Yeah, like, it's
they,
not like there's a law for that.
Who said they're breaking the law?
People.
They did.
Okay, listen. That's insanely stupid because in the terms and conditions they say that they can change it at any time. Like that's part of the terms and conditions says, hey, this is our contest. We can change it whenever we want to.
It's not like this competition is being directly hosted by like any one government or anything.
Yeah, I know. It's not like the government is doing it. Right?
It's not like there's a law for this. This is
literally Lego can be like, oh hey, we just decided that nobody gets any prizes and we're just throwing them out off the top of the building to whatever kid passes by.
And
they can do that.
They have full reign over that.
They
it's
have
not like the
legal
internet
right to do that.
is binded by any one law, by any one country. Law isn't universal. Law is only where you live.
There is international law. No, that's not what you should be saying. There is international law, and they do have a term and conditions that they need to abide by, but the terms and conditions state that they can change it at any time. So they're not breaking the law. They literally said that they could change it at any time. And the terms and conditions that they gave out.
And then Yatsukuma?
Can I just interject that my favorite thing is when people on the internet start complaining about free speech? As if the internet is American.
Stupid car.
Right, exactly.
You can't censor me.
That is...
yeah, we can.
That is really funny, actually, when people do that.
Yep.
Speaking of things being free, I was having a conversation, and I personally believe that everyone complaining about this is quite honestly simply whining.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so here's the thing, though. They are whining, I get that, but at the same time, I also can sympathize with it, because I can imagine that this is really frustrating for people who actually are trying to win something. Because I'm not a person who's actually interested in this contest. I have no interest in winning. I'm not planning on ever submitting anything to it, so I don't care. Mm-hmm. But if I was trying to enter something into this contest and win, I would probably be pretty frustrated knowing that one guy won
everything
and then now gets to win again when that rule wasn't already there in place. They changed that just so this guy could get more.
Yeah, that would annoy me too if I was a candidate.
Yeah.
Here's what that tells me.
It's not fair on the other candidates, but...
Right. It isn't fair. That's
why they're complaining.
Isn't fair.
It isn't fair.
That's pretty much my thing.
What
I
that
can
tells
sympathize.
me, okay.
I do not sympathize with the overzealous, overdramatic.
It's like one person winning first, second, and third in a race.
Right. And that is annoying, but we have to remember that this is just one contest. Too. No one... Listen, it's just a contest.
Yeah.
It's not something that people need to get up in arms about, especially for something like this that's aimed at children.
No, hold up. I will say something here, and that is the prizes are actually pretty valuable. Like, if this isn't just a contest when you're just like, the prizes, if you had this gold mask, and maybe you waited like 5 years down the line, and you sold it, how much did that platinum Evoke go for?
Okay, first of all, the Platinum Evoke is much different than a gold mask, because gold masks are a lot more common than you think. In 2001, they made about, I'm gonna say an approximate number, approximately 2,000 golden hows, and then spread them out.
2,000?
Yeah, so what? That's our 2001 mask. These are 2015 masks. I don't get it. There's still 1 in 6 of them.
They list a cash value, by the way. It's
cash value in gold. Yeah, sure. But it's not in the mold. Like, it's worth that weight in gold. Sure, that's worth that cash amount.
For a collector, for a collector, the price for this
there's a difference between a small square gold and like an actual mask.
Like a Toamata Tahu wouldn't be selling for like $200 on Amazon right now if we were going by that statistics.
Yeah, all right, that's fair.
Cents.
But with that said, that you bring up a good point. The actual value of what's being given out here is significantly raised, especially for someone who might be a collector who personally is invested in collecting the mask, or someone who plans on selling this later down the line. This would be a good investment.
Now, that's another concern some folks have had. A lot of people are really worried that these masks don't end up in the hands of really young Bionicle fans, and then something happens to the mask.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of this. This is a fandom aimed
it's
at
a
children.
contest, right?
It's a contest.
Yeah. It will. If it ends up in someone's hands who wants to sell it, well, it will end up going to someone who wants it, who will probably more than likely be part of the Bionicle fan base anyway.
Right, and we're saying...
I don't care about it going to...
It will more than likely... I know it's not the best option. You know, you want it to go to someone like a younger kid or someone who, you know, is being a big fan.
Well, that's actually the opposite of what people want.
Yeah, no, we're saying we want it to go to an older member of the community who has
I
the
don't
maturity
care.
to take care of it.
The Fear Viper
well,
is
just
that.
Why would you care?
So it
Yeah,
kind of goes around.
the fear that people have right now is that this golden mask, this highly sought after, this highly profitable, very valuable golden mask is going to be won by a kid who's like 5 or something who doesn't respect it.
Listen, if
Oh,
I was
yeah,
that
okay.
worried, like, if I had to be that worried about anything, I would just be worried that it ended up in anybody that wasn't me. Like, that would be, if I got worried that, like, I mean, following this train of logic, like, oh my god, what if the mask ends up in the hands of this kid who isn't treated properly? Why does that, like, how come that is a concern for you? You should be worried that it doesn't end up in you're the only person who could do something about it.
I was gonna say
If it's
worse
in your
things
possession.
could happen to
Right.
it. The mask could have
I
been
know, you're like,
melted
why do you
down.
care about something that isn't yours, basically? In this
Alright,
sense that,
Because
like, oh my god, it's
it's,
going to this kid.
Well,
Because
okay,
it's
listen,
a
Viper.
relic of Bionicle.
Listen, Viper, that's the thing, though. Like, if it goes to a kid who doesn't respect it, there's multiple things that could happen to it. The kid could lose it, the kid could destroy it, or he'll grow up, not realize how valuable it is, and just get it melted down.
Yeah,
And
also
then boom,
Kahi.
we've lost that bit of Bionicle history.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, and that's
alright.
history for
that's
people.
a fair,
Evaporated.
that's a fair.
Well, I
Good job.
mean, I feel like it's
Here's
just
the
a
thing
little...
with these masks, though, Kahi. This contest, you ask why would somebody care if they're not going to actually do something, like they can do something about it. I'm not entering the contest. Var's not entering the contest. Mess is not entering. We all care because, yeah, it's a part of Bionicle history, like when we cared about the Evoke, the Platinum Evoke a while back, because the original winner of that mask almost sold it to a metal shop to be melted down for like
Yeah.
$4,000.
Yeah, and that's one of a kind. That's an
Yeah,
even
there
bigger
are
deal.
6
That's
of
a- that's
these
even
in
bigger
6
stake.
different shapes.
Well, I mean, I think
only
that's
one of
just
them.
stupid.
I mean,
I don't feel like it's a shame. I'm like, that's a stupid thing because you could sell it online and somebody would pay you a lot
Yeah,
more
but-
for it. So I'm
Well,
paying
he ended up
15,000,
getting
right?
a lot more for it, obviously. But
Yeah.
we care because we see it's a object. What is it? I want to like a.
Artifact.
It's valuable.
Object.
Yeah, we see the value in that,
Yeah.
and the fact that it was so close to just being wiped from existence
Yeah.
that easily is what's the issue.
Yeah,
Because
it's like
we have
what-
souls, Kai.
It's like
care.
kind of
But the
imagine
thing
if,
is,
if
go
there's
ahead.
like a rare comic book, you wouldn't want to see that like burned or something, right?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I was like,
Or like-
Superman.
or like
you're
a
you wouldn't
drawing.
wanna see,
yeah,
like, the very
Nicolas
first
Cage has
Action
that
Comics
Action
get
Comics
destroyed.
#1. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, no, that's
That's
something.
a
That's an
big
artifact.
deal.
That's
Like,
that is
just
that's
imagine
what
a
it
kid
is.
getting hold of like a rare comic book and just drawing
my
all
God.
over it and cutting out the characters
Jesus.
and things like that.
Yeah,
That would
that's
kill
exactly
me.
what people
I know,
are worried
I'm not
about.
sure what it would do to you, Kai, but it would kill me seeing something. that
Oh my
valuable
god,
being
yeah,
ripped to
because
shreds.
those things are like that's okay, like original like Stan Lee, Jack Kirby. Oh
Exactly.
my god,
There's a lot of history
That'd
behind
be
it, and that's
terrible.
what people are scared
Okay.
of. The issue is it's just a part of reality. Like, we have to understand that this is a toy line. This is for children.
No.
And while we do care about this, we see the value about this, and we want this to go to people that would respect it. It's just a part of life. This is something that will likely happen.
Come
A
what
child
may,
will probably
life
possess
goes
this.
on.
I don't
Yeah,
want.
okay, hold up.
And then life goes on.
I
Exactly.
don't
This
want to
isn't
grow up, Var.
that big of a deal. Sometimes things are lost. Like, we've had to deal with this. We talked about this in TTV Talks, where like there's so many things that meant a lot to us
Right.
growing up
Evaporated
that
in
we've now
nothing.
lost. Yeah, we
image.
can't do
Right,
it.
all
It's
our
gone.
memories are gone. I have so many posts by old friends of my comic topic. I'll never see that again. I've forgotten those interactions already.
Exactly.
That's
Sometimes things just disappear, and that's just a part of life. And I think that's something that people need to get used to, because it's going to happen.
God, it sounds like death. It's awful.
It's just a part.
You know what
Fine,
got
it's a
lost?
part of
This will
living.
disappear
Legos check
from
to
your
VAR
life.
for that mock key built for Hero Factory.
Ouch!
$500. Never saw that.
Nope, never saw the
And, you know, I
parts
wonder
back
if, like,
ever again
now
either.
that now that, like, maybe one or two Lego employees might listen to this podcast, I wonder if we could have, like, a bit of extra pull being like, hey, remember this?
No, because the people that made that decision, I doubt work there.
Yeah,
anymore.
it's kind of like if something on the message boards happened and we weren't involved. It's like, well, the message boards got new ownership. We made a decision, and then they got
Yeah.
the boards, and something happened.
I wonder whatever
I
happened
think
to
the people
Silver.
did.
Like, where is he right now?
Probably in parts, maybe melted down.
Maybe
I don't
sitting
know.
on, like, big Meister's
Well, man,
desk.
what if he got
He's-
melted?
he's
What if he got
probably
melted
sitting in
down
a
and got
box
turned into like
somewhere in a
prototype, like a prototype plastic?
Like, you know, like he's probably sitting in a box somewhere in a corner, like when Christian Faber did that like walk through of the advanced place. That's probably where
yeah.
he's at.
Oh, dude, what if Christian Faber posts concept art of Silver?
Oh no, this
Concept
is from
art?
Hero Factory.
Concept art of silver? What? Why would you need concept art?
I
He
know.
has a model.
The concept is literally
The concept
there.
is the model I
Right.
built.
Well, no. I know that, but like, they, like, I don't know, doodles.
Doodles of what? They have the model.
I don't know, doodles.
It's not doodles, it's Dasta.
Dustin, yeah,
Anyway.
that too.
So anyway,
But yeah, back to the subject. It's just a part of things. So that's just something we have to deal with, and that's a reality that you have to face. These masks might end up in a kid's hands, and that kid could decide to really
Destroy
love
it.
it and treat it with respect, or he will lose it or melt it down.
Here's
There's
what I
like-
took
Well,
away.
People.
there's like three fundamental rules of the Bionicle community. People like to fight. Collectibles always change hands. And people like to bug Greg about stuff. These three things will never ever change. You need to
Yeah,
just get used
LJ.
to them.
Besides, anyway, if say the masks do get melted down, that gives you all more incentive to get your hands on one, because I think if you got the last remaining golden mask while the others
I
were
know,
destroyed or
supply and
lost,
demand, everybody.
that value gets increased
Listen,
tenfold.
here's what
Salty,
I
salty,
was
remain
thinking.
salty.
Here's what I drew away from like this entire this entire thing over here. This news. I was not interested in entering this contest beforehand. I want to enter this contest now.
Do it.
Because why would they change the terms and conditions? We've gone over like with the fans' reaction to that and why that's but why would they do that? Possibly it's because they're fear that they might not have enough submissions to get all these unique things. And so now what they're doing is making sure that, alright, maybe if one person's able to win again. Because whatever reason do they have for doing that? Can you think of one?
Because they wanted to? Or no, you see, I can think of one other reason. One guy made a mistake and had this guy, like, one guy so far that we know of has won twice. And so an employee of LEGO might have made a mistake and been like, okay, he's already won. Guys, go back! Change your terms and conditions!
Yeah.
I can see that happening.
Me too, because it's a lot more work to like retroactively say we made a mistake. This guy, we must disqualify him and reopen the week's voting for this one spot
Yeah.
out of 6 to just like say, okay, we make the rules, let's fix the rules.
Yeah.
So
But
that's a
that's a very
possibility.
valid viewpoint too, Kahi.
yeah,
But alright, yeah.
Speaking
No, that's,
of-
I mean, yeah.
If you can break the rules, you can also fix them. So.
speaking of viewpoints,
Yeah.
That was way lamer than Viper.
Yes.
See, I liked Messo's original one, where he's like 3 things, and then the last one, that was very
Yeah.
good.
That was actually really good. I was
I
actually
need
kind
to
of
go to-
dismayed because I wanted to talk about something, and you interrupted me. I'm like, all right, well, I'll just wait for he's done. And then you started segueing. I was like, oh no!
I need to go to
I
Segway
wanna say
school.
something.
I was gonna say, I think we need to
Segway
open a
never
Segway
rode
A
workshop.
Segway.
Yep. So there's one more bit of Bionicle news we'd like to talk about before the episode goes
Which
away.
I
I hope
tried
it
to make
lasts
a
like
segue
5
to,
minutes.
and then it got completely
You
ignored.
did good, Viper. You did good.
Why is that, X? Why do you want it to last like 5 minutes?
Oh no, because we're just running like 50 minutes now, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's actually very, very close.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
we'll
that's
run
true.
through it as best as we can. So recently on the LEGO message boards,
Yeah, you
should be
can
a
discuss
segment.
this more on the Lego, or not the Lego message boards, pardon me, on the TTV message board.
Nothing ever good
Nice
happens
plug.
from the LMB. It's
Good
always
job, Viper.
Stories of terror.
Viper,
Like,
you,
good guy.
you cut me off to mess up your plug.
But I applaud
God,
your
thanks.
Worthwhile
efforts.
plug.
12 out of 10.
So anyway, pretty recently in the LEGO message boards, Greg Farshty was asked a question, and it's TLDR, would you ever consider reinstating love out with what a sort of brother/sister love, quotations, as a thing that the Matoran can experience? So we're getting into
Outside
that
of
again.
brother sister love, the Lannisters send their regards.
Oh no!
Inappropriate.
Okay. So
Listen, if anybody gets that reference, they already know. So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But see, now that you made it, people are going to want to look it up and see what you're talking
I
about.
want to find out what that means.
and we're focusing. So basically, one guy asked, "Can Matoran feel love?" Now, the quote, Greg has said 2 things in regard to this individual. And the quote everyone is latching onto now is, "That said, though, you are now going to have MU inhabitants exposed to the concept of love on Spheres Magna. So there is no telling what effect that might have.
No,
Now,
just...
real quick, clarification. It's just exposed to the concept on Spheres Magna. He implies it's love, but he did not
I like
actively
the
say
fact
that.
that he says there's no telling, but everyone's going, oh, he just told us.
Exactly. So now the community has latched on saying, Matard can feel love! Matard can feel love, guys!
Right, and that's absolutely not what he said.
I did a little
not what he
research.
said at all.
I did a little research, and by a little research, I mean I went back one page, and then I saw the quote everyone's leaving out. He made 2 replies to this guy, and his first one was, not romantic love, no.
Aww.
Nobody is looking at that one. I went back one page to find this out. One page, and he says, no.
Okay, listen.
Have you learned that people are lazy, LJ?
I
Yes.
think, and I kind of get where they came from initially of this, but I think the concept of having no romantic love in the Matoran universe is kind of stupid.
Listen, we've been
I
over
think
this
it is, but at this point, it's something that's already been established. And
Right.
to change that changes kind of a
I don't think
core
you should change
idea
that.
of how these
We
characters
got a
are.
But-
whole RPG where we can change that.
Doing a thing where people can learn to feel love does not retroactively make love exist in the MU. That's why I think it's a reasonable thing
Right.
to do.
But look,
If anything,
can
all it
do
would
that.
do is add confusion to the MU characters. They're probably struggling to understand this concept, and they might not ever actually understand it.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that's all Greg is saying, is that they are now in a position where they can examine these odd characteristics
Yeah.
and how that relates to them.
Because
If anything, it would probably be close to a Terminator situation or something, where the Terminator,
He just learns about culture and things like that.
yeah, he's
Smile!
kind of
Say some
he
catchphrases.
understands it, doesn't necessarily mean he feels it himself.
Yeah.
With
Right,
that being
yeah, right.
said, people are latching onto that because that's basically as close to getting what they want as they're ever gonna get.
well, I mean,
We
the
have
only-
we have
only
a
people
bias
should care.
because the majority of us don't really want it for good reason.
Well,
But I can see Greg. That was his way of kind of playing both sides. He said not definitively, but who knows what could happen in the future.
Right.
That's
Well,
about as close as
it's-
they're ever
it
gonna
only
get.
I mean,
matters
I
for
also
fan
don't know
fiction,
about that,
really.
because I actually think, I don't know, I feel like a lot of us do want love in it, because I know, Kai, you want it, I want it.
you
me
see,
too.
I don't,
Where is the love?
I do
Okay.
not think it's a
baby,
good
don't
idea.
hurt me.
I think it can open up a lot of can of worms,
Yeah, you see, it's
but
the
I still
cans
feel
of
like
worms.
I kind of want to see it
Yeah.
still.
You don't
Yeah,
like
I
it.
think,
You don't like it
honestly-
because of the community, not really because of like
Yeah.
a story purpose.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, that's very true. Objectively speaking, I don't see the point of it in Bionicle because I like Greg's reason. It's a very sound reason for why there isn't love in Bionicle in the Matoran universe.
Sure.
Because I know there's all the community reasons, whatnot, but his reason is that the Matoran universe inhabitants just don't need it. They don't require love
No.
because they do not naturally reproduce.
Yeah, they
I
get
think
sent up to Red
I
Star
think
and come
that
back.
makes logical sense. I also think it makes the characters a little unrelatable.
Yeah,
I disagree because
I
the
do.
characters are already really fleshed out, very relatable, very unique, and personable. I don't think they need love to make them any more relatable or this, that, or the
I
other
think
thing.
they do. I mean, I don't. I'm not saying that they're
Well, I mean,
completely
they're not
unrelatable,
100%
but I'm saying that
unrelatable.
having
It's
right,
just-
yeah, but having having romantic love in the Matoran universe would make these people more relatable because that's a driving force for a lot of what anybody deals with at any given point in
Yeah,
time.
and for
in
me,
their life.
it just feels like, I know we've had this conversation before about where the lines cross here as far as love and emotion and everything, but for me, it feels hard to understand where these characters come from as far as emotion, how they feel about each other,
Right.
with the idea that they also can't love or anything like that. It seems like these feelings kind of go hand in hand with different spectrums.
And I mean, also, it's easier. I feel like there's a big aspect to if you have a line aimed at kids to having your main characters, no matter what they are, having parents and having families. I feel like that's another thing for kids. It's something more that kids can relate to outside of this, kind of they're just inhabitants on this world. You know what I'm saying? Having a parent, having a brother, having a sister, having something below, above and below you, and that that's a thing that kid goes through. a lot.
I
You
guess
know,
that's
this-
why
this
Kodo
place.
canon is how it is.
Also,
Right.
like, if you just the fact that characters have relationships between each other technically means that love kind of does exist. Like,
Right.
sort
I mean,
of.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know where that line is crossed. Like, what is love and what isn't? Are we
Yeah.
talking about only romantic love? Because I feel like
Yes.
romantic
listen,
love and
listen.
then friendship love kind of go hand in hand.
This is the thing. The problem with English. I'm going to refer to the Greek here because that's the most commonly thing used.
Here we
English
go.
has English has one word for love. The Greek have four. Right? The Greek have four words for love. They have agape, they have eros, they have philia, and they have I think storge. I think that's how you pronounce it. Basically, they have agape is like brotherly love, and then eros is romantic love, and then philia is like friendship, and then storge is like parents to children.
I
Yeah.
feel you.
That's
Can I
interesting.
Right.
Can we just
so,
appreciate the fact that we're having this conversation about plastic toys for kids?
I know, it's like, well,
We're
we're talking
in
to
all
like
these
a guy on
deep
the internet
social
said stuff
things
about
and-
these plastic toys. Let's refer to the Greek
The
and
problem
see what they
with
have to
English,
say.
let me consult the Greek.
Hey, the Greek
Hey,
have
interesting.
the Greek. This is the most. This
Bionicle
is
is
the most
awesome.
common
We could have
different
this
languages
conversation.
for different words for love. But basically, from what I'm looking here, philia and agape are really the two emotions that the people in the Matoran universe are capable of feeling. They're capable of feeling friendship, and they're capable of feeling this kind of brotherly love, and that kind of thing is,
Yeah.
that kind of friendship is like Frodo and Sam, for Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
or like that kind of
That's-
like really good friendship.
That's pretty much it. 'Cause,
Ultimate
Yeah,
romance.
you're right, Viper. You
Even more
reminded
than
me. They
romance.
do feel love, and Greg did have to specify not romantic love. No.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is eros, which is this kind of
Right. So
Different
I mean,
feeling.
like, I guess in that way, it's like, you can imagine like Madanui feeling a sense of friendship from like Akar and Kina. That kind of love would be something that maybe the the MU characters would learn to
Hashtag-
establish based off
Right.
interactions with these characters.
Hashtag poor Kina.
And
Kina gets
uh,
friend zoned.
Forever in the friend zone.
there is
Literally, she gets friend zoned because the person she likes is incapable of feeling love.
Now,
Like,
okay,
that's how bad
however-
she's friend zoned.
However,
There's no
Whoa,
hope for
No,
her.
we're not going to discuss friend zone on this.
however, I will say
Kina,
this: if there's
Tor
any,
of the
there's-
friend zone.
if there's any single one character in all of Bionicle from the Matoran universe that could possibly feel love, it's Matanui, because he can make his own body. He can make one exactly like the Glatorian and have the
Oh, that
reproductive-
is true. That is true. His
Yeah.
body was based off of
Is
Victorian.
true.
But
And
his
then he
mind,
could just
his
develop-
mind is still
Well,
like
in theory,
yeah.
couldn't the Toa Ignica?
Well, yes, hypothetically, but they're the same thing right now.
Interesting.
No, they're not.
Wait. Okay, I'm sorry. Did you say Inika or Ignika?
Ignica.
Like,
However the heck
like-
it's pronounced. The Mask of Life. The Toa of Life. In theory.
Okay, yeah, no, they're
Yes.
pretty much the same
yes,
thing right
yes, in theory.
No, they're not the same thing.
They got
now. They're
merged.
in the same mask,
No, they're not.
and the Mask of Light is
One
is.
was the mask, the other is a dude wearing the mask.
Right.
Well,
But
yeah,
the powers are still the
So
same.
as soon as I grew facial hair, I was no longer Takuma, I was Beardface.
yeah.
I have a sentient beard that
That's
has
not-
consumed my
That was
consciousness.
funny, but that's not how it works. Like,
Well, I mean, I don't think that's what he was saying.
Okay,
they're
here's
sharing
the thing
a
with that.
consciousness.
You see, I see where you're coming from, Takuma, and hypothetically, yes, the Toa Ignika could do that as well, because that's how Matanui made his body. He used the Mask of Life. In that case, though, Matanui is the predominant, actively dominant personality in that mask. The Ignika is dormant. So right now, they are one and the same. They can't do anything unless Matanui wants them to.
No, it's
Poor
just two different
Ignica.
personalities.
Kind
Yeah,
of,
there's
but
two.
one
They're,
is...
they're literally two different
It's
people. though.
basically
They're-
Madanui with like
Okay,
multiple personalities.
I think I've thought of the perfect analogy. The Tok'ra from Stargate.
Don't know what that is.
Not
Yeah,
watch
good
Star
job.
Trek.
Not Star Trek, Stargate.
Stargate.
SG-1.
Oh man, here goes some fights now.
Has anyone
Ding,
here
ding,
ever
ding.
watched SG-1?
I
have.
did not watch SG-1.
I
I've seen
have watched
Atlantis.
SG-1.
So you know what I'm
wow.
talking about.
Parts of Atlantis, at least.
I don't remember what you're talking about, because I've...
The Tok'ra, the alternate Goa'uld.
I'm
good
sorry.
ones.
Okay, well,
I'm sorry.
Takuma, you have to realize, even if we remember, our audience might not remember. So you're gonna have to either explain it or drop your knowledge.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if LJ remembered.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't. It's been a long time.
Okay, so in SG-1, the main villain are these Goa'uld, which are basically like these parasitic creatures, almost like
Yummy.
worms.
Like
that,
the flood. Oh, I was gonna say, like the flood.
No.
Yeah, okay.
They're like these snake, serpent, worm things that they're basically parasites. They get into a person's body, and then they like latch onto their brain and, basically possess them.
Yeah, I think a good analogy.
Are rebellious Goa'uld who instead of just taking over their host's body, they share it with them. And so while you're talking to a person, you can go back and forth between talking to them and talking to the Tok'ra inside.
It's like
Hello,
the
I'll
Beetle
pass
from
you-
Young Justice.
Now,
I'll pass you to Toka.
The two consciousnesses can kind of like read each other's thoughts, but they can't both like use the body at the same time.
Okay, yeah, that is how it is with Matanui. However, he doesn't switch. It's just Matanui shoving Ignika off to the side of Mask.
Matsunui's like driving the body, whilst the Inika's like in the back seat.
But that's my point, is that it's still two different consciousnesses. Consciousnesses, though.
Yes, but one is
love
dormant.
isn't tied to the body; it's tied to the mind.
However, we have to keep in mind.
And I honestly don't even remember where this all began at this point.
No, that's not. Yeah, we're not saying that Matanui could change his body to feel love. We're just saying that Matanui could change his body to reciprocate love.
Nice.
Hey, okay, so
that's what is being said.
The Lannisters send their regards.
The things that I do for love.
Matanui is physically capable of changing his body for that.
yeah,
But yes.
then that's why the Matoran
Talk to your
universe
parents,
inhabitants
kids.
don't care, because they don't reproduce like the Glatorian would. They just build a machine and say, "All right, turn the crank."
It's
the
alive!
crank. Yeah,
laugh at that,
pull the
Viper.
lever.
Crunk.
Oh man.
Just laughing like little elementary kids.
Well, because we're like, this is it's an interesting subject to touch upon, because it combines so many different elements of what Lego's trying to do, both like in the canon and both like what they're trying to do when establishing this story. Like Greg said before, like they felt that they didn't want to have romance because most of their target audience wouldn't like it.
Now,
and
that's something you reminded me of. I asked Greg when love came up, with the Bionicle story team, what was the verdict? And like, did that come up before the online stuff? Love never came up.
Never came up. Let me tell you what. You see, we was going the whole love thing, and we didn't think about it at first. It was just it never came up.
Never is something we. Never is something we actively make fun of, like Mess will
Yes,
say,
it is.
we never.
Yeah, we say that all the time.
I just said it as fluidly as English.
Yep.
Yeah, fluently as English.
Yeah, I was just let that one go.
Fluidly.
I'm not on my A game today. But yeah, so he said it never came up. And it wasn't a thing they actively thought about until the guys online started doing things. At that point, they were like, no.
Interesting.
Yeah, I did not expect that. I didn't think that was actually an option. So, Kahi, we have to debate all over again.
okay.
Not
I
on this episode,
I still think I still think love is a valid thing, a valid emotion that makes characters more relatable. I feel like if you take romantic love out of the thing for characters, that you make a part of them
unrelatable. It's an extra dynamic to characters and
be
storytelling,
that
which
guy.
Bionicle does not get because of the target audience. That's basically what it boils down to. A layer is stripped away because of what it is. It's a Lego theme. For better or for worse, that's what it is. These are the facts. We can't change them. And wishful thinking and trying to, like, twist Greg's words isn't going to give anybody the answer they want.
It is worth noting that Lego seems to have gone back to this. In Ninjago, they have, like, this whole love triangle thing going on. So, presumably, they've gotten back and been like, okay, yeah, Ninjago's very much aimed at a younger audience. Very much aimed at kids. Very popular with kids. And the romance thing seems to be hitting out fine with them. So, Obviously enough, the characters are meant to be human and not these hybrid robot people. But I feel like, again, this is why Lego now, they have, like, the protectors have kids.
Right. And I mean, okay, so, like, Takuma brought up an interesting point in the chat, not in the recording, but, like, he pinpointed the fact that Kai said love makes characters relatable, and he said people haven't the slightest clue what love actually is anymore, just hormones. And
That's
the thing
the way
is,
I feel.
Okay,
and the thing is
you're completely right.
that is why I think it's sort of important for things that are marketed towards kids to maybe touch on love a bit in a more mature way.
Yeah, now
I think that's a good way for kids to relate to these characters.
So that I can go
and kind
all
of
out the window as soon as they're older.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm not
Sorry,
saying
am I sounding
that.
cynical?
I'm honestly not saying that it shouldn't have been a thing because it doesn't add anything. However, I am saying that without it, the characters still do a good job being unique and interesting characters with motivations that are unique enough to not need that. However, I'm glad they did not go
I don't know
that
about
route.
that.
Yeah, okay.
Honest,
I don't
their
know.
motivations are basically do what you're told.
Well, see, this all comes back to the debate we had a while back. The Matoran universe inhabitants don't have free will.
Yeah.
Predestination, guys.
It's still
Let's go back to
I still don't think
theology.
they do.
Let's have an actual theological debate, not about 3D printed bananas, but about
Yes.
Bionicle.
But about actual, like, theology and how that ties in.
How
I think
fate and destiny and your own free
Fate-
will.
fate,
Theology. This is
destiny, free will.
Bionicle, guys. I wonder if Lego
there's a
ever
lot
expected
there's a lot of stuff in Bionicle. If you wanted to read into it more, you could come up with a really good
15 years after the
mythology to
toy line comes out, like 7 people are sitting in a Skype call talking about like theological.
You're right. The theological
You mean
implications of the Bionicle world.
No, I don't mean
Well,
ethical.
no, the ethical is what the
That
Toa
was just a
do.
joke.
Theological.
That was just a
So was my
joke.
rebuttal.
Just a joke.
Just a joke, yeah, I know. Funny,
Like,
funny, ha ha.
Like,
Laugh-tacular Matt Pack, etc.
wow, you went cynical like that.
Jeez, Meso, calm down.
But basically,
Cinemac.
It's the first time in a long while that Meso's not made a statement that's like on everybody infuriated in one episode. I remember
clarify
those
though-
days. Those were nice.
for everyone that's actively looking for something to read into, to clarify, and you can go look back at this, Greg did not canonize love, but he said it would be interesting to see what effect it has on the Matoran.
Is Greg
That is
allowed
an
to read
interesting
fanfiction now?
No,
Can he do
he's
that
not.
since
He
he's no longer-
still is not, because he still does writing for Lego.
Does
No,
he?
I mean, but Bionicle fanfiction. Can he
No,
do that?
I
Because
don't-
he's not
even
writing anything
still,
for Lego
even
anymore.
still, because he can't
I
read
mean, yeah,
fanfiction
because he
because
can run in the risk of copying a fan.
Well, no, it's
I
like
guess.
aside from articles in the Lego Club, I'm probably just being stupid. But what does he do? I don't think Ninjago books happen anymore. Chima's canceled.
This is
He's
actually
not
a question
writing.
someone should
He's
ask
not
him.
writing the Bionicle books. So what does he do?
The
I
Lego
think
message
he's
boards.
doing something. I just really can't remember what it is.
Well,
By the
doesn't
way,
he,
I know
Doesn't he
it was-
decide on the Lego magazines as well? Like he does.
Yeah, that's-
he
that's
has
what he
No, no,
does.
I mean,
Like,
that's his
Lego.
actual job, is to
Yeah.
the editor of the Lego magazine.
Yeah, but nothing in the Lego magazines would prevent him from reading fan fiction.
Right.
Either way, I
well,
remember
maybe
this was
that's a good
asked very
thing.
recently. It was asked
JK.
very recently, and he said no, he still can't.
Right. I also think it might not. It could also be a personal thing as well.
Right.
Like he doesn't personally want to corrupt what his envision of Bionicle is by
Or
getting
possibly,
ideas from fans.
Possibly, and more
Probably a good
realistically,
idea.
he didn't want a lot of people saying, "Hey, Greg, can you read my fan fiction?" He's like, "Oh, no, I'm still not
That
allowed
too.
to."
I mean, that too.
Yeah.
Yep, the Bionicle
Because I would totally
The
do
funny
that.
thing
This one
is
has
that
to
with
look
the
in.
way people were going about getting stuff canonized, it was basically like he was canonizing fan fiction.
That is true. There are a lot of
They
things
weren't
that
open-ended
were,
questions. It was, hey, this is my idea. Read it, canonize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get this word spread around that he didn't actively do that. By the way,
It
you
shouldn't
bring
matter.
up, you remind me, there is still a story canonization contest going on in BC Power.
Is
It
there
has
really?
been,
Has that not ended yet?
that has not ended. It's been going on. They're in the final voting stage.
Oh my
And I don't
god!
believe anyone's
Then-
really sure they can go up to Greg and say, "Hey, this look good."
So like they're doing this. How long's it been going on? 2 years?
Oh my goodness.
Year and a half to 2. Yeah, it's been Yeah, about that time.
What if they finally end this voting? Which, by the way, how
Who's
is it
running
taking
the
that
contest?
long? How is it?
Bonsai.
No.
It's Bonsai.
How is it going that long?
Yeah.
Okay, this must not be. Is this an official contest that I
Yes.
just
Yep.
somehow I haven't caught word of this?
Yeah,
It's
I'll go get, like, the
Memoirs
stuff.
of the Dead.
I've
it's
seen
like-
that. Sorry.
Yeah, Memoirs of the Dead. It's basically where people write a story about a dead character.
Yeah, I read some
and then it gets
Zaktan
entered
ones
in.
before they found out that Zaktan's not dead. Ha ha.
Yeah,
That's interesting and ironic in a way that they.
That is
Well,
ironic.
Yeah, that
technically,
the contest
it's
is so old. That
Everyone isn't, apart from Matoro and a couple of the characters like Nadiki, no one's actually properly dead.
oh, that's true because the Red Star. Oh,
I mean,
Man, the Red Star was such a stupid thing.
Can we
apparently
debate about the
that
Red
was
Star?
planned.
We'll
According to
debate about
Greg,
the Red Star
that
another
was
time.
according to Greg, that was planned from the very start. I'm not denying it's
Well,
like stupid.
That's
or
one of the
anything.
dumb
When
things.
I was
Then.
reading,
yeah, I know. I was like, all right, sure, it can be planned. I don't care. It's still not the greatest
Red
idea.
Star Zombie Maker.
when I was reading Dark Destiny the other day, they brought it up, and it was like it had with Velika saying like this like poetic quote about I think it was like a Mwaka or something trying to get the star,
Mwaka.
thinking it was fruit, and then he died with him. He died himself, and he's like he got a head start, and I'm like, oh, interesting.
So you know
I have
what?
a question.
Okay, you go first.
Is it only like sentient like characters that go
I
to the Red
think
Star, or
so,
can
yeah.
like Rahi go to the Red Star?
I think. Well, I mean, the police said that people get repaired, but I think it was for workers primarily. I believe so. Well, I mean,
Then what
to be
are
fair,
Rahi,
when I did hear about Greg's idea for that whole zombie thing, I liked the idea a lot more after I heard that of the Red Star.
Okay,
Actually,
Zombie
no.
thing?
Viper, you asked an even
Did I
better
miss
question.
something?
What the heck are Rahi?
real quickly. First of all, sentient beings go up the Red Star. Rahi do not, I believe.
Oh.
I'll look that up in a second. The other thing is, the contest did end. Actually, I was
Oh,
wrong.
really?
It ended on April 27th.
Are they
Oh,
gonna be
oh,
able to get it
recently.
Literally, that's
canonized?
like that's like
couple
5
days
days ago.
ago.
Yeah.
I'm
Monday.
actually not 100% sure. Nothing says. They're just really happy the contest's over.
Yeah. You know
They've
what's
got
creepy?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 winners.
You know what's really
Ooh.
creepy?
What's creepy?
We're talking about the Red Star. I said the phrase Red Star Zombie Maker, which was the title of an episode. I got curious. I wanted to go look up what episode that was. Episode 42.
Oh
Wow.
100 episodes ago, we were talking about the Red Star.
Mad references,
kidding
bro.
me?
This is some
Man, that was
Illuminati
cool.
stuff going on.
Yeah, I know. Right? We were predestined to talk about this.
It's also our 5-year anniversary. When this episode
yeah.
comes out.
We should mention
Congratulations
that.
for
Hey.
5 years, guys.
Yeah,
You know,
good.
I remember when I joined in December of 2011. This is gonna be 5. It's going on. This is the 4th year. It's gonna be 5 years come December. Good grief.
Yep.
It's
It'll
not
be
5 years
Technically,
for
if you're
range.
counting like
Okay, do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember that one time where I remember this? We were in a call. And we talked about. We mentioned this the last time too, but I always go back to this. We're in a call and we were looking over the last episode that got released. And it's a special episode. I think we interview somebody. It's either like Randy Elliott or maybe it was the Leigh Gallagher one you guys did before I was there. But we look back and we were looking on this episode, and you guys are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it!" But we have 80 views in this episode. And we're like, what? And we go back and we look, and there's 80 views on this counter, because we host it on like Podomatic or whatever. And we're like, oh, 80 people? 80 people listen to this episode. And we're like, you know what? This is pretty great, guys. I remember this is 2011, so I'm like 4 years ago, I'm, what, 16? You guys are like 15, like LJ's, you know,
I'm an
younger.
age.
So it's
I'm
your
an age.
You're younger than I am. Viper's not even here. Takuma and X are not even here.
yes.
Whoa, man.
I
That's
was
how far
20.
we've come. That's how since we started TTV.
It's
Now
pretty
we
awesome.
have 17,000, around 17,000 subscribers, right?
Almost 17,000.
Almost
Almost there. We're at like
17,000.
16,700 something.
And every one of
Funny-
them are very special to us.
Yes,
Exactly.
all of you. The last episode, we had 2,000 people tune in.
Funny bit of
And watch
trivia. I just looked up the 3 virtues on YouTube. Guess what the first result is?
It's like
Episode.
when I searched up the other day because I was at college,
is
I
this
wanted
the
to listen
personalized
to
results?
the podcast I wasn't in. It was like it comes up with the three virtues Bionicle or the three virtues podcast.
Well, I just looked up the word, the 3 virtues. Number 1's our channel. Number 2 is episode 75, Nira the Lunch Bully.
Yeah, I've seen that. For
Why
some
is
reason,
that
Nira the Lunch Bully always comes up for me too. I don't know why. I don't think I even listened to that episode because I wasn't there.
Keep in mind, don't trust that those search results if you're logged into your account, because
Yep.
It's for me and Kai. So
Yeah.
It's like that for me as well.
Doing that for me though. So
okay.
But even still, that is a little strange.
and the thumbnail's the picture of the HF bootlegs. Mange said he'd review and he never reviewed. Time to mail him an angry letter.
Later down, you can see the Lego Movie The Game, which has a really great thumbnail, I think.
I would like to quickly go back to my question.
Oh, yeah, it's like the Lego
for it.
Movie the game.
What the heck are Rahi?
Designed to
Animals,
fill up
right?
the world.
Bionicle animals.
Oh.
What's the purpose of them?
I
If they
was
don't,
They
just
can
if
have
they,
animals and have pets.
Here. Okay, hold on. Rahi all serve a different purpose. They are not like a collective. They do this, that, and the other thing. Because remember, the Makuta were responsible for the Rahi. They made the Rahi. And each one did a different thing. So they may have had some programmed for, doing this, doing that, and then some they just made of their own volition.
so are Rahi alive then?
Rahi
Or are they just robots?
Rahi are alive in the sense, like, this is a debate Kahi has had numerous times with people. They're like animals, but
I don't believe animals
Like-
are fully alive.
there's no real way I can explain this. They're basically, they don't talk. They're alive, but they don't talk.
No, they're not sentient.
And they also don't go to the Red Star.
they're not that intelligent.
I don't believe they go to the Red Star. I tried looking on BSO1.
Because then,
don't
if they
mention.
do go to the Red Star, my question is, well, say, like, I'm assuming this doesn't actually happen because they're robots, but, like, say, like, a Muwaka decides to eat some little, like, a Faiku crab or something.
Uh-huh.
Does that Faiku crab go to the Red Star and then just come back?
I don't believe.
Dude,
I don't believe it
endless
does.
Muwaka just sees a Faiku walking around, it's like, I just ate you!
Wait a minute. So does that mean that any Rahi that ate a smaller Rahi was instantly hungry again because it just got like teleported out of its stomach?
Yeah, I just got teleported.
Well, no, because at that point the body would have been so far past repair that it wouldn't have been sent up.
So technically, there's a limited amount of Rahi then.
Yeah.
Well, that's why the
much. I would
Makuta
think,
were in
yeah,
charge of
that's
creating
why the
more.
Makuta-
Well,
had
do
to make
Bionicle
them.
characters even need to eat?
Yeah,
Yes.
don't
Yeah,
they
it's been
absorb
established that they
food?
do because of like
absorb.
the Medu.
Well, there's one book where Onua actually eats something, but that's apparently
Hula
not
bear.
Well, what do
Berries.
they eat then? Do they eat
They
living
eat berries.
things, or is
yeah,
it
they
just
eat like berries and like fruit and stuff.
they
They absorb the
don't,
energy.
they don't eat it in the sense that we do, but like they absorb the energy from
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, like they put their
okay.
like their hand around it and like it.
Well, then do plants go to the Red Star?
No,
But they're alive, right?
I'm pretty sure
they
plants
are alive, but
completely
there's
alive.
how would the Red Star know? The plants will have a tracking mechanism in them. The plants are fully organic.
I'm just curious as to like what this, how this all
alright,
works though.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what defines
Here's
what
what
goes
I
to the Red Star,
assumed.
what doesn't.
We talked about this before. I assumed that there's a tracking device, and every being that's supposed to be sent to the Red Star, and Red Star will teleport these people back up and then repair them, and then send them back down. So supposedly, but then that was our issue too when we were like, were the Ignika, the Toa Ignika, could they have been teleported even though they died outside of the Matoran universe? And I've said yes, because the Red Star could target them with lightning, and it should be able to target them with a teleporter too.
So like when a Matoran character or like some like one of these characters are created, they are inserted like a tracking device is like
Right.
inserted in them.
Right,
Makes
what you're
sense to me.
right.
That, I mean, that does make sense. That would definitely get rid of the whole plants and animals not going to the Red Star thing.
Exactly, and then that's how they're targeted and taken away. Whenever they're damaged, then they'll send the signal, and the Red Star teleports them. But the teleporter back doesn't work, and also me and LJ had a discussion for a long time if the Red Star works outside of the Matoran universe.
Yeah, and lo and behold, it does not.
It doesn't.
Yeah, Greg said it. Greg said it didn't. I think it doesn't make sense.
Well,
I
but-
like a part of me agrees with you, but another part of me is like, well, I already debated this, and I know why it makes sense to me. So,
How could they say that the Red Star doesn't work outside of the Matoran universe if it was able to do something to the Toa Ignika?
More
Yeah, exactly. That was my argument. I was saying that it was able to
here's the
target
thing.
the Toa Nika.
It does work outside the Matoran universe, however, it will not teleport
Unless we're
beings
just going to
it-
argue that
outside.
it was a malfunction of teleportation or some rubbish.
Well, I don't know. How can the teleportation not work then? Because they can
Because
target.
it's tied explicitly to that
yeah.
area.
See, okay, the argument
Yeah, it's
I was
not.
making...
That's how it.
the
that's how
Yeah, but how can it
teleportation
partially
works?
work in some places
Yeah.
and fully work in others?
I had a really great explanation for this. The reason I think that's the way it is because you've got the Matoran inhabitants. Like, let's say you got Joe the Matoran.
Joe
He's
the
outside the
Matoran.
Matoran universe.
Joa.
Every being in them has a signal that this red star locks onto and goes, scoop! Well, it can't do that because one Matoran signal is too weak, too faint, too far away.
Yeah, I
the
was
Matoran
just
universe
thinking,
Alright.
Interrupt me again and I
Sure.
will shank you.
I'm sorry.
The Lannisters send their regards.
So, the Matoran universe acts,
You get
in
it,
my
Red Wedding?
opinion,
Okay.
the Matoran universe acts as an amplifier, which amplifies that signal and allows the red star to lock on and go,
By putting
like-
something in between?
no, as amplifier.
It's a higher
By putting
concentration.
a thick universe wall in between?
With 1 million people in there, yeah. It makes perfect sense to me. The signal's greater. If, like, one Matoran was lost in the White Quartz Mountains on Bar Magna, wandering around, I don't think the Red Star would be able to separate him from all the white quartz noise.
Oh my god, you're so racist. You are so racist.
Yeah, here's the thing. LJ's explanation, I was like, okay, that makes sense, but it still doesn't explain to Toa and Nika. They were outside the universe, and the Red Star was able to target 6 individual people, 6
They were
individual
by
Matoran.
the
You didn't
universe.
specifically teleport,
look,
though.
look, you can
They
look
didn't
at it this
specifically
way.
teleport, but it was able to pinpoint their location and able
But they
to
were right.
target them.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know a lot about Bionicle geography. Okay?
Of course you don't.
Admittedly, when you guys were arguing like on the Ninja Mentor Nui coverage about the domes or whatever, I was kind of tuning it out.
Thanks.
The Toa and Nika were not in the universe, but they were by the universe. They were close by. Am I right?
Okay, now,
Yes, but how is the star able to send a signal that goes through the universe and then is able to target the Anika?
well, real quickly.
This is a big barrier here. We're saying
Right.
like this is an amplification, but if
LJ's
the
saying it's amplification. I say it doesn't make sense.
if the MU is an amplifier, all that does is just take the signal
Right.
from the red star and enhance it so that it's
Well,
heard
no, LJ's saying
elsewhere.
it takes the signal from the Matoran and enhances it, so that the Red Star can
okay.
find it. But I'm saying the
Okay.
Red Star is able to find it when people are outside the Matoran universe, which doesn't
I am
make sense.
actually going to go ahead and say this is my explanation. Because I was giving it some thought. I was thinking back on that scene where the Toa were actually turned into Toa. And here, I'll quote BSO1 here, and I posted a picture for you guys to see. When Jala, Holly, Kong, Nupara, Matoro, and Huki were escaping from Karzani's realm in Toa canisters, a failsafe caused the lightning from the Red Star to strike the canisters and transform the 6 Matoran into Toa Nika.
So the canisters are the amplifiers.
Exactly. Now the canisters.
Nice.
That makes sense.
Keep
That
in
makes more
mind,
sense.
these canisters were made by the same guy who made the Toa Mata canisters. Now, Toa canisters are very
Artaka.
mysterious. They can, like, phase through things, they can fly, they can do this, that, and the other thing. It makes a lot of sense that they'd also
would-
be proper amplifiers.
That actually does
Wait,
make
what?
that-
Since when
that
do they
does actually make
phase through
sense.
things and fly? When did I miss that?
They do that. I read somewhere that they do that. Like, the Toa Mata...
Was
they
it
did-
Bionicle Wikia?
Okay, here,
I read
It doesn't matter because they would
somewhere
have just
that like
copied it from Biosector 01, right?
Alright, features. The Toa canisters are sleek vehicles. They have the ability to turn intangible, making them optimal modes of transportation for Toa.
okay.
All right. Well, that
All
clears
right,
that
that-
up.
What
Yeah,
if the
okay.
Toa Mata had got struck by lightning because of a failsafe? Would
I've
they
actually thought
have
of this.
become the Toa like Mata
Like, I've
Nika?
wondered.
Is it normal for lightning to come out of the red star?
It's
Yeah,
a
okay, I don't know
failsafe
how
that
this
was-
failsafe worked. That's
Yeah.
what I don't get. I don't know how this failsafe came into action, and why they decided to strike the Toa and Nika instead of the Toa Mata.
Yeah, what is the purpose of the failsafe? What is that achieving?
Well,
okay,
it's supposed
the
to create
Red
new
Star-
Toa.
The Red Star is also capable of creating new Toa from Matoran outside the Matoran universe as a failsafe. Complete with
So it just strikes random canisters?
complete with
The
spirit
lightning
stars.
until one of them produces a Toa?
Basically.
That doesn't seem like a really good failsafe.
It's
No.
not.
Seems like there's a lot of flaws in that
It's a
plan.
really
Sounds like
stupid. It's a really
slavery.
stupid idea.
I'm gonna keep whipping these things until someone gets to work.
Yeah, unless they've got Matoran just stationed in Toa canisters until that happens.
Wait a second.
How-
Wait a second.
Kahi, I
Do we
believe
know-
you just had the same thought I did.
Yeah. Do we know if people from Motunui, when they died, if they went up to the Red Star?
Oh, and you didn't have the same thought I did.
I
They
don't
died.
think so.
They didn't go to the Red Star. That's been confirmed.
So they died for real.
Yeah, Jala died for real.
But how is he brought back?
That is a source of controversy that and not even Greg knows, because like he didn't write that in.
So
That was
basically, it's so stupid that we were like, I don't know.
that's the thing.
He just
I mean,
did
Greg
it.
doesn't even know. He said that that's what the movie guys did, and I can't even explain it.
He's like, I
That's-
can't even.
He's like,
We have no clue what happened there.
I can't even. He just came back. He just did it. He just came back.
He just did. It was magic.
Believe in Jesus, everybody. He just came back.
What
He
if
was
what if like the
oh, I'm dead. Nah, JK, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, he's like Superman. I was in hypersleep. Like whenever I get beat the crap out of him, I just enter hypersleep. And then Takuta Nuva was somehow able to I don't know how he's able to
Takuta
reforge the
Nuva.
body too.
perhaps Takuta Nuva is just like this extra being that is beyond like the understanding of the MU. That wasn't something that was
Sure.
meant to...
Yeah, he's like, I'm beyond all your understanding. Oh, a door!
I mean,
No!
maybe he's a
no!
great being. Maybe he was a great being.
Perhaps Takuta Nuva is a scrub tier person and a dumb idea.
Listen.
I mean, wait,
Listen,
what?
he
Can I just point something out? No, we never actually saw Jala's body disappear, right?
No.
Yes.
Oh, in the movie we did.
No, it never. It never really disappeared. He died. There was a body, and then they just
They took his mask off.
took his mask.
Okay,
They
so
jacked his
So
clothes.
he literally
this is very
generates
easy to
tissue
explain,
too.
right? So the mask is something that all Matoran wear, but it's not really considered part of their physique, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's
yeah,
why. So
it's
that's
like-
why the
it's like
mask
their
came
clothes.
behind. What happened to Jala's body is, you see, Takanuva, his right hand is a specially designed Pokeball.
Okay. Okay.
I thought this was serious. I thought you were about to give us a serious explanation here.
Takanuva and
It
Taraga.
all makes. You
I'm so angry at you right now.
When the Pokemon, I've never even played Pokemon. I know when the Pokemon get incapacitated, you just put them in the little ball, and then they like.
So he has
rest
a Pokeball with a corpse.
And then
I was
rest up.
gonna say he dismantled Joller's body to build the Usanui.
They rest.
Oh my
up,
gosh, that'd be awful.
Oh
rest
man,
up,
that's dark.
And then he's like,
Jeez.
he's all charged now. Here, let's just put the mask in. I choose
Here's
you.
my
I was like,
explanation.
oh no, I killed these 6 rock sheep, but I'm a few parts short. Where can I get a couple extra pieces?
They look at Jala and they're just like, I'm sorry, Jala.
Takanuva cannibalized Joller's corpse.
That's such a,
However,
like ravages it
Cannibalize
for
would
like
imply
extra
that he
parts.
ate it.
How did
However-
wait? What? So like the Evohi gives you the power to like create light. Okay, what is it? Come on, it's a really stupid word. What is it? Evoki?
A Boki, not a Boki.
I said Evoki. Okay, whatever. Listen. Okay. All right. So apparently, part of the power set the Evoki gives you is the ability to build, like you can shoot light, and you can also just build vehicles all of a sudden, and also merge with your enemy to become.
Well, he didn't just build vehicles all of a sudden. He used the corpses of the Rockshi to build it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, like
actually-
he knew how to build
Yeah,
vehicles.
yeah.
Like that's
Okay,
part of the.
that-
Oh, fair enough.
That's
fair
the
enough.
funny
he
thing,
just
though.
knew.
I know what Kahi's talking about. Takanuva, like Takua, had the blueprints to the Usanui implanted in his brain, and he unlocked these blueprints when he became a Toa. That's the official story explanation.
That's freaking
That's
stupid.
stupid. That's so
Beyond
stupid.
dumb. What did the Usanui do? It just got him down there, right?
Did
Whatever's
nothing.
the
The thing is-
Couldn't he have used just an Usul crab?
The thing is, he's been been down there before. He doesn't need it.
Yeah, that's the funny thing too. You're right. I totally forgot about that. Real
Couldn't he
quickly,
have just walked down there like on Puku or something? Like,
I mean, part of Ulkan part of Takanuva's power set is moving close to the speed of light. Because he's a Toa of Light. He can move quickly. I don't know, he just run.
He doesn't need the
He just
Usanui.
run down there. I don't know why.
you probably
It's
get there fast.
it's like a...
Hold on.
Gotta
a
go
second.
fast, guys. Gotta go fast.
That was
Yeah, no. Exactly. It's like the stupid Sonic games. Like, why is Shadow the Hedgehog riding a motorcycle?
With a gun.
He
What
can
does
run
Shadow the
faster
Hedgehog have
than
a
it.
gun? Just run. You're Shadow the Hedgehog.
He just wants to look
Takanuva
cool, guys. Can't
wasn't-
you understand that?
It was actually in, I think, I can't remember if it was one of the books or one of the serials, but Takanuva was still experimenting with ideas like traveling at the speed of light at that time during like the 06 era. So it was not something he actually knew he could do
Okay.
at that point.
Okay, fair
just to be
enough.
fair.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
yeah,
Fair
that is true. Now,
It's
But
still
it's
what you were saying earlier, Takuma, it got me thinking. Takutanuva has all of Takanuva and Makuta's powers, which
that's why
includes
that's why he still had the Pokeball hand.
which includes Makuta's 42 Rakshi powers, which includes, I'm saying that a lot, teleportation. Now, when a Matoran body dies and gets sent up to the Red Star, it actively gets teleported.
Oh my god, I just had a thought.
That is even
Continue.
stupider than having the Usanui buried in his mind.
Yeah, continue. Finish your thought, and I want to say mine.
Alright, so it would make some sense if Takutanuva teleported Jala's buried body, because if they have a body, they do bury it. Teleport his buried body over to the mask, and then just gave life to that mask, that body.
So is that one of the 42 Rakshi powers? It's just giving life?
Well, no, that's a Takutanuva thing.
What?
So-
Okay.
Stupid.
What if? So like, okay, a Kanoe is sort of a life force as far as the Matoran go, right? Without that, they lose a lot of energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's their
They
vitamins.
need their yeah.
There's little
they can't,
Flintstones
can they
hidden in their
survive
Kanoe.
without Kanoe?
I heard they go insane without a Kanoe.
No.
They
They can't
eventually
survive,
pass into, like,
like,
coma.
they kind of go into a coma state. In Monog,
Right.
whenever you would, like, lose a Matoran, the mask would get knocked off and he'd run away. But you're kind of, like, in a really weakened state, almost in a coma.
Okay. What if, like, say, Jala dies, but, like, part of his life force is still sort of embedded in his mask?
Like a
Okay.
blueprint
Like a blueprint. Sure.
for a vehicle.
And they take the mask, and what's his name? I forgot it already.
Takutanuva.
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 Takuta dumb.
Takutanuva takes the mask, embeds his shadow powers in it, using the life force of Jala embedded on the mask to create a shadow Jala.
Oh.
It's not actually the real Jala, it's a clone of
Oh,
Jala,
so
using the life force embedded from the mask, making Jala a shadow Toa!
Except
it's
he's a
kinda
Toa
like-
father.
Dumb.
Except that didn't happen.
You mean
If
dumb.
you've ever watched Astro Boy, the movie, the actual... does anyone mind if I spoil it?
Yeah, go ahead. It's
the
not a
actual
spoil.
kid dies and he creates a machine that like puts all his memories in there.
that movie.
So he's like,
It's not a spoiler! That's literally the plot behind Astro Boy. That's his origin.
Yeah,
His
and then
origin.
he
It's like,
becomes-
hey, Bruce Wayne's parents died.
he
Spoiler.
recreates.
Yeah.
He recreates a robot that has all his memories in. So technically, it's pretty much the same, but it's just it has all the memories, but it's a different body and a different
Right.
entity.
No, like,
but-
all seriousness, what if that Jala, the new Jala, is not the same Jala that we lost? It's just, like, a
Look,
genetic clone.
here's what I would think. I would think that, like, the Kutanuva, like, holds his, he does the thing and he waves his hand around Jala's mask, and Taraga Likon comes back, because he's the one that actually had that mask in the first place, and had it for probably way longer than Jala did.
Oh no, that means we're-
that'd be funny.
What if it made a clone of Holly instead? She was the one carrying the mask.
Ooh.
Well, okay, here's the thing. With masks, when a person wears the mask for a long period of time, it does create an imprint. That is an actual thing in the story. It creates an imprint of the
Right.
user. Now, I don't know
Right.
what this imprint entails.
Yeah,
however,
like a con.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or,
why
it's-
isn't Recon like there?
Exactly. Kahi brings up a very, very good point. What
Wow,
if?
you guys are just making my Pokeball theory sound more credible.
Like, I believe probably Lee Khan is still on that mask, and I think it would be possible that Jala is influenced by that imprinting by wearing the mask. Because he shows a lot of heroic acts throughout his, like...
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, Jala is influenced by
He's like
Lacan's
Matanui.
presence.
Who has like toying like his
Influenced by
consciousness
Naka.
as like a split
Yeah,
personality
that's
that
right.
comes to his head.
That actually also makes sense because if you guys remember, in
Comes back
2006 when Toa and Nika were going down the 777 steps, they saw an illusion of Toa Lee Khan telling
Yeah.
them to turn back.
Right.
Nice.
No, I guarantee you that Jala has got some... He's kind of like a reincarnated Lacan.
Let's ask
basically.
Greg.
When in doubt, just
Hey, Greg,
ask
can you
Greg.
confirm our fanon?
I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
Jala
this
cannot
is a
love...
fan theory we have. Can you confirm it?
What happened to
Can you make it
Jala's
canon
body?
for us?
No, Jala can't love. Neither can Takuta
Aw.
But yeah, no, as far as explaining Jala's revival, pretty much impossible. That was basically pulled out of their butts.
That was pulled. That was
No
because of the
hand.
guys making the movie. That was not. Greg Weisman, the guy who did Gargoyles. He wrote the script for Mask of Light, or at least
Wait, did he really?
yeah, he was involved.
He was involved. He didn't write the script though, right?
Let
Listen,
me double check. I believe
All of Greg, Greg Weisman is one of those guys that everything I've seen from him that he directly writes or has like a supervising hand in has been fantastic. It's been so tight with the plot.
Yeah,
Young
Gargoyles?
Justice, Gargoyles, Spectacular Spider-Man. Those are all his projects, and those rank up as probably
well,
the
I mean,
best.
Bionicle's
cartoons.
got some pretty interesting lore behind it.
Yeah,
It's not
I'm
like-
saying that like it doesn't feel
I doubt they gave the screenplay writers the entire story bible behind everything Bionicle.
I just like whenever
Written
Greg
by
Weisman writes someone,
Bob
it's usually
Thompson,
something.
Alastair Swinnerton, Henry Gilroy, and Greg Weisman.
Yeah,
Really.
So he's part of it. He had like
We don't
A
know his
small
exact
share.
role.
If I knew Greg Weisman was involved in Bionicle, can you imagine if he ran a Bionicle TV show? It was like Spectacular Spider-Man or like Young Justice and that kind of...
yeah.
Man,
Then everyone would be revived by Takuta.
Takuta
I mean, okay,
Nuva-
well, you're saying that like that was his idea, but it probably wasn't.
Takuta
Yeah, that's
Nuva
it.
is Red Star.
They
And
probably
he wrote
needed...
this.
Sorry, they probably needed a plot device to make Takanuva more... They gave him a motivation to go down there and stop Makuta, so they killed off Jala.
But
Yeah.
they didn't foreshadow it or make mention that he's
Yeah.
going to bring him
Well,
back or
do
anything.
anything.
he threatened to kill his friend, and then that's what he did.
like, I mean...
Unintentionally.
like,
Because
I've said before... Remember when we did the Mask of Light coverage? I said, like, what would make this so much better is if, like, Makuta, when he confronts Takanuva, instead of challenging to a game of Koli, like, appears in the form of Jala. Because he can't assume a Matoran form, as seen in Manog.
Yeah.
And so if he attacked him in the form of Jala, he's like, oh, this is your failure, you couldn't stop me.
Failure.
And, like, that's a much, like, oh my god, that's pretty deep.
That would be really cool.
Right, and at the end, like, when Takanuva defeats him, he's able to, like, imprint Jala or whatever on the broken body of Makuta. See, that's better than, like, whatever
Just
happened.
reviving him.
Yeah, just reviving him.
MacGuffing him back to life.
Right. Governing him. Yeah, there we go. Really, the Mask of Light is basically a MacGuffin throughout the entirety of that
It is.
movie.
Well, most of the masks are MacGuffins.
That's
but
true.
I guess.
Bionicle's really a MacGuffin theme. It's like, find this mask, find all
Yeah,
six
it
of these
is.
masks, find this
It
other mask.
absolutely is.
So get this, I have no clue how legit this is, but I was just looking up Greg Weisman and I found a Q&A that he did with people. And somebody asked him about Bionicle and he said he was let go.
Oh.
I don't know if this is
Really?
actually him, take it with a grain of salt, but he says someone
It's
asked him,
Gargoyles,
someone
so yeah,
asked
probably.
him questions thinking that he was Greg Farshty, and he said, I think you're mixing me, Greg Weisman, up with this other Greg whom I have never claimed to be. I worked briefly on Mask of Light, but was let go.
Oh. Well, if that's
Well, that's
true, then
interesting.
that would make sense for the
I
script
doubt he
not
was
being-
around long enough to
Yeah.
be the person to blame.
Right.
I'm gonna blame
That
Bob
doesn't surprise
Thompson.
me, actually. I remember reading about Mask of Light and the
No,
plans that they
this
had
side,
for it.
yeah.
And, like, it changed a bit.
It changed
Yeah.
quite a
from,
lot.
like, from its conception. Because I remember the original idea was
A
that...
boy was supposed to be Dakota, am I right, or
Th-
something?
this is
Yeah.
wow.
Well, that was one thing. I do remember reading that they had initially planned for Legends of Metro Nui to be a theatrical film.
Right.
And that Mask of Life was actually going to just be like a pre-film that kind of prep people to understand what's happening in the theatrical film.
Oh.
They had a lot
Which
of
obviously
ideas going
those
back and forth.
plans never came to fruition. So, I mean, obviously things changed as far as production.
And, it's funny because I don't know if Lego realizes how much of an impact that would have on just like our lives in general. Bionicle is like a movie that a lot of more people saw. That would be a huge deal for us in terms of like, how our reach is and how many people know of Bionicle.
We can dream.
This is interesting. One guy wrote to this guy, "Where did Lee Khan lives when he was a Matoran?" And Greg Weisman responded, "I don't remember, assuming I ever knew. You have to understand that although I immersed myself in Bionicle at the time, I only worked on the project for a very short period before I got fired for yawning. Since that was somewhat painful...
Yes! I'm reading
somewhat
this right now.
painful, I divorced myself mentally as much as possible from the property, so my memories aren't the clearest."
Wow.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he said that on here. I share story credit on Mask of Light with Bionicle creator Bob Thompson and writers Arthur Swennerton and my pal Henry Gilroy. I had a great time working on that project, but I wasn't long in it as the Lego executive fired me because she believed I was being disrespectful, which I wasn't. And some of my ideas do survive in the final product.
Oh.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah, that does suck.
Really interesting.
That is... Can you imagine if Greg Weisman still continued Bionicle? That would be perfect. I love that guy's stuff. Really, he's like in terms of like, if I had to pick people to do a Bionicle TV show, it's either him or the Avatar guys. These two guys have just a fantastic history.
That's obviously not going to happen anymore.
Obviously not.
Yeah.
But
rip in peace, guys.
I mean, I guess as far as the Mask of Light goes, and the Mask of Shadows, and
It's dumb.
bringing Jala back to life, and it's dumb. I guess what we can assume at this point in time is that the filmmakers were just trying to do stuff with these masks, and I think the idea behind it was that they're almost more symbolic than they actually ended up being. Like, right now, the Mask of Light and the Mask of Shadows, basically, we're taking it at face value. One controls light, one controls shadow. But I think what the film was trying to do is kind of give this persona that the Mask of Light is the mask of good,
Yeah.
basically. Whereas the Mask of Shadows is the mask of evil. So, like, not only does it control light, but it controls light and everything good that comes with it. Whereas the Mask of Shadow controls darkness and evil.
Yeah.
And I think with those two combining, at the end, it's supposed to bring this presence of life.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
but
yin-yang
life
kind
is
of
the
thing.
grey area.
Like the yin, like the yin-yang thing. And this was obviously before everything like, oh, the Mask of Life existed and stuff like that.
Right.
Now, that might have been in the story Bible and everything from the beginning. We don't know, but it's unlikely that the movies team that worked on that, aside from Bob Thompson, would have full knowledge of everything that they had planned to do for the next 10 years.
I would have liked to really
Yeah.
know what went on behind the scenes in a lot of these projects.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in how like this, just how in terms of a corporate structure, how come you like how you build a story that has so many moving parts. Like we see the results right now with Kevin Feige and what he's doing with Marvel, and how that's really paid off. And sometimes you don't have that same kind of creative control over everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty nuts.
I don't know. It seems like Bionicle could have had a bit more structure in how it handled things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
but
that's
I
okay.
mean that's
Yeah,
us
probably.
saying from the outside. We don't actually know.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing-
Also,
like-
it's really kind of the first
Time they
Lego
didn't-
property
yeah.
to do this too, and I doubt they had a lot of experience with it. They kind of ran with it as things came along.
We do
so.
have a tendency, and I realized like how obvious this is because again, now it's come to our attention that there are people that actually listen to this, who possibly listen to what we do, and they actually work at the company, and they can easily see because they work there. All the stuff we're saying is like, no, that's obviously false. We do this instead of that, and we have that. We have this in place, and there's all this decision that led up to this thing. So it's important that I think that we convey to our fans that we're commenting from that perspective of these fans from the outside, and that even though we claim to sometime theorize on what goes on behind the scenes, we have no actual idea. None of us work for Lego. None of us have actual idea what goes on behind.
I would like to say that there is no reason that you have to say that, and that people should just assume that.
I was about to say
obvious.
thanks for the disclaimer that we don't work for Lego. I bet there was really a
Yeah,
lot
that we don't.
of
But I mean, like people take autopsy and they're like, this guy's they're trying to state facts that aren't true.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, no. It's obviously an opinionated show. This is obviously opinions. These are obviously assumptions that we came to trying to use what we've been given to come up with this outcome. That doesn't mean that they're true.
One thing
So,
we
I don't
can
know.
all agree
People
on.
say that about us all the time, though, and I don't understand it.
One thing we can all agree on that is a certifiable fact. is that BS1 is better than Wiki. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's totally a fact, all right.
It is.
Oh my god.
people.
Well, I think we've overstayed our welcome. I think this might be the longest TTV episode we've had in recent time.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's
hey, it's our
Year
anniversary.
Yeah,
I guess that's true. Anniversary episode.
Yeah, it's a special.
Well, we
So
had
we've had a great
nice,
time.
yeah, we had a nice conversation and in-depth conversation near the end, especially
The
when
only
talking about love.
casualty was X.
That was interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
our casualty X. Who had to...
We didn't need to mention that X was a casualty. I could have just edited it in
No.
his outro.
Wow.
So-
Good going, guys. You ruined it.
Thank you all. Thank you all very much for listening to this episode of the TTV Podcast, and thank you all for 5 years of support, including that 1 year where we didn't do anything and nobody really supported us. So 4 years of support.
Not even 4 years of support. We've had like 2 years of support.
Basically.
No, we had some support. We had like 10 people in the first 2 years.
Yeah, go get them.
Thank you to all 10 of you people.
It's been a...
But we had
3
enemies
of
back
them-
then too, so those
Yeah,
enemies
we-
balanced out those 10
one of those 10 people was me. No, I'm kidding.
You have not been a fan since
No,
the
I
beginning. Get out of here,
haven't. I
Viper.
was joking.
Thank you all
Well, I
again,
was.
and we will continue to entertain you the best way we know how. So we will
Make
see you
my
all
By
next
talking
week.
about random nonsense and rambling for an hour and a half.
Exactly. So we'll see you all next week for the next exciting
Talentless hacks.
episode of the TTV Podcast. I'm Messanek.
I'm Broderan.
I'm LJ.
I'm Kahi.
I'm Viper.
I want to be the very best.
The best,
Best there ever
was.
was.
Oh, dang it.
And this
I'm
is
too
Catch
many-
them is my real test. The train them is my car.
And this was
Rock
TTV
your body,
episode
get your
142.
Maneuver.
142. Check us out on the TTV message boards. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon! Gotta catch 'em all! Gotta catch 'em all! Pokemon!
How do you get 5 Pikachus in a car?
You pick and you
on.
choose.
No, you pick Pokemon.
Wow.
That doesn't even make sense in context.
No.
How?
You know what, Takuma? You're just
Which
a fun
one?
killer.
I'm gonna.
Nice.
Yeah, well, you're black.
Oh my
And
god!
that's edited out.
Viper's like horrified.
Oh my god, Americans are so racist.
It's just splatter here.
Okay. Let's do
Yeah,
this.
well, okay. Don't in England, don't they call...
No.
Well, in
Silence.
France,
Guys, we need to end.
Silence.